Hey everyone, and welcome to Nerfcast. This is Shawn.
And this is Josh.
Joined by B.F.U.
Once again, welcome back, B.F.U.
Yeah.
I'm like semi-regular now. This is nice.
Yes.
Yeah, so real quick, apology to all the fans. We know we missed an episode. We actually recorded one, and the audio was just terrible. Yeah. Afterwards, we just had some sort of weird technical problem that didn't come out when we were recording. When we listened to it, it was like... Yeah.
Yeah, and apologies, we had Bobo Lolo on the show too.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to re-record that podcast too. So we're sorry everyone for that, but
Yep, we'll get him back on here.
Yeah.
But so maybe we'll go a bit longer today, make up for lost time.
Yeah, because that's what you guys want, right? 5-hour podcast?
Oh.
Nah.
We're going to need some water.
Good.
2 would be good.
Yeah, we don't got no water. Ain't no liquid in the room. There's the dog dish.
Yeah, I was just looking over to that.
Oh, no, that's
Nope,
done.
and that's looking dry, too, so...
Odin already got to it.
Could be parched. Yeah, you guys make me thirsty now. This is rough.
We're going to be thinking about it's going to be deserts. Like big bags of sand.
All right, stop that.
Yeah.
Okay, so big news in the Nerf community. B.F.U, go.
So, the lots of stuff coming out overseas about the Nerf crossbow, which apparently is a zombie strike crossbow. Apologize. Which is apparently half of a quarter of a third of an eighth of a rough cut. Just really half a rough cut, but I like to exaggerate. Looks like it's got multi-fire, so you're going to get 2 trigger pulls, which will pop out 4 darts. It's got faux arms, like most of the other crossbows, non-functional. But the green color scheme is nice, looking pretty hefty for size, similar to the size of a rough cut. I'm kind of excited for it. I'm always down for some new stuff. I'm ever the optimist. Me and Shawn are optimistic.
Yeah.
That's how we roll.
He's looking at my face like, Josh is already like, I don't know.
Here's the trick, Josh. If it's $5 cheaper, would you buy it?
That depends on how much it is to begin with.
$5.
Because, yeah, that doesn't always work. That works with the Rebel crossbow. That did not work with the Centurion.
Yeah.
If Centurion's $5 cheaper, I don't care.
Yeah. Shawn and I are very just like, yeah, it's new. We'll try it. We like it.
The Crossfire looks cool. It looks cool. I like it without the bow arms, first off, because it looks mad skinny because it's up and down. So whereas the rough cut is a little bit thicker because it's side by side, since they're up and down, it's a nice thin profile. What I dislike is it doesn't have that shotgun prime, which I understand is not a shotgun.
Nah, I'm with Josh. No, they're crossbows with shotgun primes.
No, I'm just saying I understand for the Nerf thing, like it's not supposed to be a shotgun, so they want to vary it up and make it different. But if it were an underbarrel prime, that thing might be money because I could put that on me a lot easier than a rough cut.
Yeah.
So you just want a skinnier rough cut is what it breaks down to.
Yeah, I mean, I like the amount of shots you get on rough cut versus this. It's like 4, so you get 2 shots.
2 trigger pulls, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're up and down, so the dart spread will be different. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
That's true.
But yeah, I'm with Josh on the top pullback little mechanism. I'm not really down with that. I mean, I understand it simulates like a top pull crossbow, but I think there are shotgun pump style crossbows too in the world. I feel like maybe, unless they're just the movies, I don't know. But
yeah.
I feel like that's a real thing, and they could have.
I feel like if we play enough Assassin's Creed, we'll see it happen. Ezio, I have made the crossbow for you, and it has a pump in action. Leonardo, what is a pump action?
Shawn is currently offending half of my ancestry. It's wonderful.
Yay!
What Josh and I were thinking before was we were looking at it. If you could attach the Retaliator priming thing to the top, that would work.
Actually, yeah, that would be pretty good.
Oh yeah, that'd make it better.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of just underbarrel. Anything that underbarrel primes makes me happy.
Yeah, but if you have an underbarrel prime, it makes it hard to do an underbarrel integration with it. How are you going to attach an Alpha Trooper to your crossbow, Josh?
By adding a barrel. Boom.
Shakalaka.
Yep.
Mind explosion.
Yeah, I mean, here's a big thing we always... we always look at our games and how we play and what works well. I agree. I like it in the sense that it's a skinnier rough cut.
Yeah.
Because I can't tell you how many people still show up with rough cuts at our game. They like the rough cut. Aesthetically, it's fun. Functionality-wise, it's a very good blaster. The problem is, of course, it's very thick and bulky. So, of course, there are a couple people out there who make holsters for them. So we got like one by Limey Tactical.
Yeah, Limey Tactical.
Yeah, they have one that's supposed to like go into your side, I think, for it.
Yup.
And that's cool, but that's not widely available. Not everyone can run down to the store and get that. There's that new back sleeve now that Perpetual Play came out with. It doesn't fit in there?
No, the sleeve is a little big for the rough cut, even if you taper up the bottom like you're supposed to. Not quite.
It feels like it's going to fall out.
So as thick as the rough cut is, it's not thick enough to fill the volume of the sleeve, which is really what you want. You want something to fill the volume of the sleeve. Now that I've used the blaster, I put my Air Max 10 with custom stock on it in that, and it fills the sleeve up. Works way better when you fill the whole sleeve up. Which leads me to believe that if we lined it with something and made it a little more stiff, it would work better.
Yeah, I like all of my stuff to be
snug,
firmer.
My issue with the rough cut is, and I've run the rough cut a lot, so you will see me run around the battlefield, except for this past game. You see me run around often with the rough cut. The problem is it's not quite a secondary and it's not quite a primary.
It's a bastard child.
Yeah, it's like a tweener. So, and anyone that watches basketball knows what I'm talking about. But it's that in between blaster. It can't fill either role really well, but it's still really cool and really works for what it is. But you just don't end up running it that often because you're like, well, I would just rather carry a hammer shot and something else.
Yeah, I mean the profile of a hammer shot is a lot easier to carry on my person. When I originally got the rough cut, obviously way before the hammer shot, so I was thinking, yeah, if I can strap this to me and I've got mine on a sling, just drop it and pull out the rough cut because I'm assaulting a flag, and we used to have the flags in sort of these narrow spaces. It's kind of nice because it's giving you two shots or two darts at the same time. Like you can just assault with it and hopefully get people out if you're the first person in, and the person behind you can grab the flag if you die. But
so let's talk about the stripped down crossbow then. Would you use that as a primary or would you go in as a secondary?
No way. 2 shots?
2 shots.
2 trigger pulls? No way.
Yeah.
It's really small, but we've seen people run around with jolts out of a game.
It's true. I personally would not. See, the thing is, though, with the jolt, I feel like the reason it works with a one shot is because they're just running up behind people, taking a shot, and then backing out. This is even though it's a slimmer profile, it's still a big blaster. And I mean, yeah, Nerf blasters don't weigh a whole lot, so running is not like it's really gonna slow you down, but I don't know. It just seems
I feel like a lot of the play that we see with smaller blasters like Nightfinders, Jolts, Triads, it's people who want to run quickly and also just have the extra maneuverability with that gun.
Right.
Be able to run in, jump over a wall, get someone on the other side by arching their arm over the wall and just picking them off.
Yeah, dodging is kind of a big thing when you only have a couple shots. So when you got a blaster that's as big as a rough cut as your primary, and you're running around trying to do the jolt thing, it's a little bit easier to hit you because you just got that much more mass on you. We count blaster hits in our games, so I know some people don't. Might not be a thing for them, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna buy one. I don't know.
I mean, that's
a
the
given.
truth about most of us. We'll pretty much go out and buy anything that comes out. The only blaster that's been immune to this so far has been the Mega Centurion. That's the only one I haven't bought yet. Just because it's not that the price point scares me off for performance, because I'm very well acquainted with how well the Mega Centurion does. It's more about it's big and bulky, and I don't want to think about how to store it if it's not something I'm using regularly.
I don't know. Costco's got it for $40 with 2 clips.
That's a really good price. It is really tempting me just to go out and buy one. It does kind of bum me out a little bit that the barrel is already attached when it comes in. So there's no way to just like do a quick little mod to hold down the little button that says, hey, I'm here, and just get rid of the barrel for a smaller...
Oh, is it attached in the Costco one?
Yeah, it's attached already. They got it up on display.
Maybe it's because people kept breaking their stuff when they were trying to insert mags and shoot it, and they didn't put on the barrel. I mean, no, honestly, people that already know Nerf kept trying to do this because it was the standard, so I can't imagine that kids were faring much better.
Yeah.
So it's just like, well, we'll just attach it.
For $40, it might be worth purchasing and then returning sans, the clips, and the bipod. Sorry, Costco.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's going to happen. We've seen that happen with so many things at big stores. I can't imagine it wouldn't happen there.
Well, the easy fix for that, and this is something we used to talk about before all the accessories came out with the Elite line, is why don't they have mags separately already? I mean, the obvious answer is because with the Mega Centurion, it's the only one using the mega-sized clip.
Right.
The new Magnus that's coming out is going to be, it's kind of like an internal clip. You load 3 darts into it, all inside the blaster. There's no separate piece for holding the ammo. So at least they did come out with the darts that you can buy separately, but I mean, that's dirt cheap to make.
So with as squishy as the Mega rounds are,
right,
I just don't see how the magnets can work and be awesome. And I want it to be awesome because I want the Mega Darts to be awesome and work. But I don't see, with knowing how crinkly they are and how easy they are to break, I don't see how an internally fed clip blaster is going to, I just don't know how that's going to work and not ruin darts.
Yeah, I'm not putting too much stock in the Magnus, honestly. I can't see it doing much. I feel like Nerf hasn't released extra magazines and extra things for the Mega line besides the darts themselves. I don't know if it's because they figured no one's going to be able to carry around a second magazine as big as the Centurion's is, or they just realize it's kind of already it died.
Well,
DOA.
I mean, I feel like look at how long Vortex line got support. I'm not saying it's dead per se, but I barely see anyone running that. Like, we buff Vortex ammo with certain abilities at our games to make it more worthwhile. Usually ricochets don't count for Vortex lines.
Right.
We made them count just to get people out there and using them, and we still don't see a lot of play with them.
See, but the difference is I think that Nerf out the gate was supporting Vortex. So when they released the Vortex stuff that actually took clips or magazines, they were releasing magazines for the Vortex line. Like, you could buy them separately. Even though they were small, like, you could get 10s or something, I think, with the actual blasters, and they only had 6s. 6s? Yeah, that you could buy by themselves. I think sixes.
I think 10s.
The 10s?
I think 10s is the smallest you can get.
Yeah.
And some of the blasters came with 20s.
There we go. It was 20s and 10s. Yeah, see, I don't run them because I don't know the capacity, but my point is they put it out there trying to sell it. With the Centurion, it's like, here's this, we're not really going to support it.
It's weird, though, because that's the attitude that My Last Art gave and their promotional material really gave. They were pushing the Mega Centurion hard once they decided to officially acknowledge it. I mean, the news dropped, I want to say February or March, about the Mega Centurion originally. That's when the leaks came out. But it seemed like this was going to be their flagship blaster. It was going to be like how last year they had the Hellfire, and they were all excited about it, saying, holds 144 rounds, guys. It is the brand newly designed elite blaster. These other two are basically reshells. They, of course, didn't say that, but like, this is a brand new design for a blaster.
Right.
And I feel like the Mega Centurion was supposed to do that, but the difference is, with the Vortex, with Elite, with even these newer ones, Rebel, Zombie Strike, it feels like a line. You feel like there are at least 3 blasters that if you want to, you can go out and buy to have primary, secondary, and a tertiary.
Right. Well, and there's support for them, like I'm saying. I mean, they might not be magazines because all those that they released didn't have magazines for them, but there's A, darts for them. B, like the Zombie Strike stuff has all of the perpetual play stuff that they're making for it is awesome. Even the Rebel stuff has the phone mount is Rebel colors, just little things like that. There are the darts, and you get them in packs of 10. And the blaster, that's $50.
I don't think they'd go in and design a new blaster without, obviously...
It might be a slow leak out. It might just be like blaster here, blaster there, and then when everything's out, they start pushing it. I mean, the Centurion is widely hated. I feel like I should get one from Costco to get an updated one.
Right.
Like maybe a newer model, because I got one of the first... before it was released, first ones.
Right.
So I feel like, I've had that experience already with Rapid Strikes when I got my first couple from Walmart that were out before everyone else, and they both died. And then the Stripes had problems when they first came out. They had to make better ones, right?
Right.
I heard there were some other blasters too that have had that same issue. People were checking serial numbers at the game yesterday, like, well, you have an early model, a late model. So they make changes midstream, don't tell you what the changes are. And you got to check serial numbers, right? So it becomes rumor and like conjecture. So I'm wondering if I should get a Centurion just to try it out and give it a second shot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it might.
I
feel like their flagship blaster, it seemed like they were going to go Centurion, and they realized the Rapid Strike was selling well. Yeah. And that became, they're like, let's just push the Rapid Strike. It's got a commercial. It's got this. Let's do all this stuff.
It's on sale everywhere right now. $26.
Yeah, that's
good prices.
$26.50.
That Clear Mag too. I mean, that could be a new thing next season, that they start releasing the Clear Mags in conjunction with the orange opaque magazines.
Yeah, I mean, they have the
mask.
I think that next season we might see a lot of exclusive colors and stuff, because we've already seen the Polar Ice or whatever it is, Arctic Ice at Toys R Us.
Yeah.
There's the whiteout looking rough cuts.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, those look awesome.
That got me excited. And there's supposed to be a Zombie Strike rough cut too.
There is supposed to be that.
I'm
there
hoping
was
the
a DPCI
whiteout
for that. But
I'm
we
hoping
never,
the whiteout is not the zombie strike. I wouldn't mind 2 other color rough cuts.
Me neither.
I would
That'd
be
be pretty
okay with
cool.
that. I already own like 4 rough cuts.
I would love to see a whiteout line because everybody loved the original End Strike, and now wishes that they could get their hands on it. And it's it goes for big bucks on the interwebs.
It's kind of funny that there's this big gap though, because like obviously I haven't been into Nerf very long. I've only been doing it for 2, almost 3 years now, I guess. And just when I first came in, I saw all these blasters. Like you had the original form of the Rampage, the
Raider,
thank you,
the Raider, the Recon,
Alpha Trooper, and well, not Alpha Trooper. This doesn't count for this explanation, but you would see all these blasters, and then when you go to different stores, you'd see all these different colors.
Right.
You'd see the Clear series, the Sonic series, and then eventually those kind of won EOL, which is a term in retail, which means that, hey, this is old, it's not selling well, it could be any reason. Just kind of let them trickle out, and you might see 1 or 2 that never go back on sale because they're too lazy to try and sell it at a discount because no one's paying attention to it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So with that said, it's kind of interesting that you saw this kind of trickle out, I would say almost 2 years ago, where it seems like you stopped seeing an influx of these Sonic series blasters and other ones.
Right.
Or even like the Red series or the other series
a
long time ago with like the Long Shot. And now you're seeing it kind of making a comeback. You see that Toys R Us has their Sonic Ice series again.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like Target is really taking ownership of the Zombie Strike line. They obviously have a couple exclusives, but a lot of the Zombie Strike stuff I see is happening at Target and nowhere else.
I think it's exclusively Target.
Is it all Target?
All of it.
Right now, I've only seen Zombie Strike stuff at Target.
Yeah, supposedly that's their exclusive.
Because I know the Hammer Shot on the packaging has the little Target exclusive.
Same with
icon.
Sledgefire.
Yeah, those two.
I don't know about the bags, but since I've seen bags that are both, I have seen like original mission pack bags at Toys R Us, and I don't know if I've seen them at Walmart or not. I honestly don't remember.
I have.
I know I have seen both the original packaging and the Zombie Strike packaging at Target and nowhere else.
Yeah, I've seen them back to back too.
I mean, no word on the rest of the series, but it seems kind of weird that they would give the rest of it to everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be
Target,
cool.
My Target might have ponied up the money and had the vision, and
Yeah.
I mean, it could be similar to what Toys R Us did with the Dart Tag line.
Yeah.
How they wanted to take ownership of that, but the difference is, it seems like Dart Tag got no support while the Zombie Strike line, because you have brands like Perpetual Play putting out their third-party stuff that clearly designed it to be generic, but now you're seeing Zombie Strike power pack or range packs and ammo packs.
Right.
You see all these different things that they said, hey, let's brand it, so that way people will get excited about the new stuff and want to buy it with the other new stuff.
Yeah.
It's a wave of new stuff instead of seeing all these different things pulling you different
Makes
directions,
sense.
not knowing what to buy.
interesting thing about Dart Tag, Toys R Us exclusive maybe, but maybe not because you see them at Fry's.
Yeah, I have seen them at a Target before and at a Fry's before.
Just to clarify too, Fry's is a electronics retailer here in the West Coast. They've been branching out more towards.
They got some spots. I think they got one in Florida, Pennsylvania. So they're not every state, but they're nationwide now.
Yeah, just in case anyone didn't know about them, they were a grocery store when they first got started, and you can tell when you go into their stores that they are kind of like, let's have a little bit of everything and see what people will buy.
Yeah.
Including Nerf.
And you don't want customer service there.
But it's weird. I have seen I don't remember exactly. I think it was a Swarmfire actually. It might have been. I don't.
Maybe
it
was a temporary exclusive.
It might not have been a Swarmfire. It might have been something else. But I have seen them. But they're always like 1 or 2, and they're like dilapidated boxes. So
it always feels like something that fell off the truck, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll try and sell it."
Yeah, or like they carried it a long time ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and then like Toys R Us got the exclusive rights on it or something, and they're like, "Well, we still have it. No one's bought this like the 3 of these we have in stock yet because we don't normally sell these things."
Yeah, I remember I got my Raider when it went EOL there for $5.
Oh, at Fry's? Yeah, I
it
remember
was
that.
so good because it came with the 35 round drum, and I'm like, swoop all over this.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, too bad the Raiders sucked.
Yeah, but the 35 round drum was
for $5.
35 round drum is awesome.
Yep.
And to be fair, the Raider might have sucked, but for back then, it was actually okay. Now
it's better than
comparison.
a Rampage.
Honestly, I feel like it's better than a Rampage because I didn't have the jamming issues that I've had with Rampages before. But apparently online, people are saying Rampages are awesome.
Yeah, that's the word on the interwebs.
Yeah,
Weird.
I don't understand how you see that it's awesome. Like from first off, I've just had jamming issues. Now, that might have been, again, I haven't played with them since they came out, because everybody at our group had jams that ran one, and then everybody stopped running them. So that was it. It was a wrap. I haven't seen one almost since ever.
It felt like it was popping up with different people on different days. It wasn't like all at once they all stopped working.
Right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it wasn't like the same one was getting around. They were clearly a bunch of different people with different rampages that were having this jamming issue. I remember there being some videos on it, too, like, oh, you got to shave down this or do so. I never ended up doing it because I was like, I don't care. The other thing that I just never liked about it was the fact that it has a magazine sort of sticking in front of your face. I don't know why people tend to like that. They're like, but it has this vertical grip that you can pump and shoot. And I'm like, so does the Alpha Trooper, but I guess people are saying the ranges, there's some little bit difference in ranges and this. And I'm like, you know what? For me, I don't understand how you would go vertical grip over.
I've never played it. I've never actually fired a rampage. And there's like 7 in the trunk of. So before I say this, so Josh and I and a little bit of Shawn, we went out and decided to buy. We picked up some big containers for my backyard that have, you know, like outdoor containers, and we filled them with all old Nerf stuff, like yellow End Strike, pre-elite stuff. So in these containers, they're each 5 foot long, 3 foot, 4 foot across, and it's all yellow End Strike. One's some elite, but mostly like blue pre-elite stuff. And there's like 4 rampages in there, and I've never fired one because everyone told me they're so terrible that I'm just like, I don't even want to see this for myself because I'm just going to be upset.
It's just hard for me because just like with Josh, I think anything you would want out of a rampage, you can get out of an Alpha Trooper. The one thing I say the 2 biggest differences are going to be you don't have that little grip on the bottom of an Alpha Trooper. You have to actually like shake hands with it. You have to wrap your hand around it. It's not a big deal. I mean, unless you're doing like a spring mod, it's easy enough to prime either one. Mm-hmm. And then the other part is, the vertical versus sideways versus vertical magazine, which to me, I don't like that jutting out. It's just one more thing that can be hit. It's kind of awkward to unload it and load a new one into it. Just there's something satisfying about hitting a button, and gravity kind of helps you take the rest of the mag out instead of having to pull from the side.
Right. I mean, we have somebody who at our games, Kimball has run, he's basically welded a vertical what is it? The
grip?
It's a grip, but I mean, what's the blaster you get it with? The Retaliator.
Yeah.
The vertical grip from the Retaliator, he just cut that, basically welded it onto his Alpha Trooper, so now he has a vertical grip on his Alpha Trooper. Mm-hmm. So, boom. There it is. The only nice thing I really liked about the Retaliator was a 25-round teardrop design magazine.
The Rampage.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Rampage. Yeah.
25 rounds is good.
That is super good.
Yeah.
I wish they would release those on their own, honestly.
I wish they would release anything on their own. The 18s are nice, and I'm really glad, don't get me wrong, we wanted it for a long time because it was exclusive to the Stampede. Mm-hmm. But they have not really. They keep pushing 12s with all of their perpetual play stuff.
I love 12s.
Mm-hmm. And 12s are actually a good size. They fit in a lot of things. They're a little bit, you lose a few shots, but honestly, what you lose isn't that big of a deal. But they don't sell them individually. And I know they're probably trying to push blasters. Like, well, if you buy another blaster, you get another 12. Like, that's cool. Your thing holds 4. I'm not going to run 4 clip system blasters. Mm-hmm. In fact, I don't know. They have 4 by electric and. But it's rough.
Yeah, the accessory conversation. It happens every podcast.
It does. It's something we always fixate on. But here's the thing: this is what really blows my mind about the Nerf accessory pack, the one that fits the 12-round mags and not the 18-round magazines. Mm-hmm. I don't think there are a lot of players out there like that who are like saying, "I'm going to buy blasters just to get more of the 12-round magazine."
I can't see that there's a lot of people in their target demographic that do that.
Yep.
Because they're 6-year-olds to like 12.
See, we're all like that, but I don't think the average Nerfer is like that.
And I'm sure that we don't make up the majority of Nerf sales. We might make up a small portion of it, but I'm pretty sure their target audience is
to
their
be
target
fair,
audience.
You can fit 18s in that thing. You got to put them horizontal. They won't fit in the pouches. Mm-hmm. But you could fit 18s if you wanted to. It fits an Alpha Trooper in it. So
no, the other one, the old one.
Oh,
not the new
guy.
one. Yeah, the new one, I know you could fit them in.
Yeah, I'm going with the briefcase, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the briefcase one is better.
Yeah.
I feel like Perpetual Play, like, they just snuck that one under on us, and then it was like, oh, that actually is kind of an improvement over their other one because you could put more stuff in it.
What's that called? The long range kit?
One of them's the mission pack, and the other one
Come
is
on, Stat Guy.
Yeah, I don't remember. I saw it at a Toys R Us, and we bought that day. Yeah,
and it's a cool design. It's like a little it's like a little
the range pack, range pack, and the mission pack. There we go.
Did you see that at Toys R Us or Target?
When I first saw it, I saw it at a Target.
Toys R Us.
Toys R Us. No, yeah, I saw it at Toys R Us because I sent him a message. Actually, I sent both of you a message.
Yeah,
but he responded first.
Because I remember seeing it, but I think I remember B.F.U. You were like, "Yeah, is that a Toys R Us?" Like you actually noticed that like the price tags in the background. Like, oh, that's not Target.
Yep.
It's just weird because I feel like I go to Toys R Us so seldom now because they never have. If they have blasters, it's so scarce. They probably won't have the blaster I'm looking for, and I feel like I never see the latest stuff.
To be fair, I think that's because the only new blaster that they can have in stock for you is the Rapid Strike, because the Hammer Shot and the Sledge Fire, all the Zombie Strike stuff is a Target exclusive. So you're either finding the Rebel stuff or that. Which, don't get me wrong, that's why I keep going because I want to find the Power Bell. And the
Power Bell.
Power Bell's Walmart.
Yeah.
But or not the Power Bell, the Guardian Crossbow. The gold one though.
The golden.
Yeah,
the
we've
golden
all been
bow.
looking around.
The golden, or not the crossbow, yeah, sorry, the bow. The Heartbreaker bow.
The golden heartbreak. Yeah.
ticket.
The golden bow. Looks,
I don't even know if I'm going to buy it. I just want to see what it looks like in person.
I'll buy it.
I'm buying it.
Yeah.
Do you have a... Oh, you have a bow, don't you?
I have a bow. I have a Josh's Blazing Bow is chilling at my house, and I have 72,000 Zing bows.
Do you have a heartbreaker?
I do.
Yeah.
Josh nabbed it for me,
That
and
bow back
I
from
was
you.
playing around with it, and we were trying to figure out if it could be good, and I'm like, no. And then you were like, yeah, it can be good.
It can be better. I wouldn't say good. I ran it for 10 minutes yesterday, and the problem was certain blasters are terrible when you have small games.
Yeah.
We were going like 9-on-9. We're used
Ooh,
to
6-on-6 when we started out.
No, when I used the bow.
Oh, okay.
When we were the bow, we were up to 9-on-9. But the last couple games have been like, 13-on-13, 14-on-14. Whole different game when you got backup. You don't need your blaster. You can specialize more.
Right.
I made a huge mistake. I fired off one shot, got lit up, and was like, this thing is stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely a dynamic that we've talked about, big game versus small game. Like, you can have these specialty blasters that have very niche intentions, I guess, niche roles in the battlefield.
Yeah. They're specialty positions.
Yeah.
Okay.
But once you get into bigger battles, you can start using those more. Smaller battles, like, no, you got to be very versatile. You got to be able to change and be what your team needs to be on the fly.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way. That's
Yeah.
why we got our butts handed to us yesterday. You missed out. So I loaned out. I have a Strife where I put some Solar Robotics motors in it, which I highly recommend that mod. I know the rest of the interwebs is down on Solar Robotics, but I've been running them. We played 11 games this season. Yes? 9 games? 10 games?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, 9 games.
I ran it for 8 of them. I ran it for all but one game, and I have yet to burn out a motor. So I have 4 standard rechargeable AA's in there with 2 motors, and everyone's played with it except Shawn. Shawn couldn't get it to work.
Hey, it worked for one round of HVZ.
Which is funny because I loaned it out all day yesterday to a guy that's never played Nerf before, and it worked fine the whole day, except when he overloaded a clip in darts. It's the only time it wouldn't work.
I'm telling you, Josh was there. He might not have been looking at me, but I tried 7 different things while running to be like, I know every single problem spot besides opening up and looking at the wire.
It just didn't like you.
It doesn't.
There's something.
It knew it wasn't his daddy.
But so I was running a Strife. We did costume day for our game yesterday.
Yep, Halloween game.
So I was Captain America. So I was running my custom Josh Pagan painted Captain America Strife with 2 truss fires in it.
Yep.
Compared to the motor mod, nope. I can't even go back. I was like, is this thing on? Like, what is it doing? Why isn't it?
I mean, it's loud.
Not even that loud. Comparatively, not even. I was like, is it even? I was like, Josh, is this working?
Yeah, he thought like one of the motors was dead. Like, oh, maybe it's only half rev. I was like, no, that's the way they are.
Well, you said you did like 2 truss fires, right?
2 truss fires.
Yeah, it's basically the same as 4 regular AA batteries.
2 truss fires is what's regular AA's?
1.5.
1.2.
1.2, I think.
I thought it was 1.5.
Only if you get really good ones. 1.2 is the standard.
So if you buy the Kirkland batteries.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1.1.
So it's like 4 and change versus 7.
Okay.
So it should have been a lot. No. No, it was all bad. My 4 batteries with my $2 motors were much, much better. I think everyone is trying to overvolt the Solar Robotics motors, and that's not going to work.
Yeah, that makes sense that they blow out.
I really missed the Strife because I can pretty much make it do anything I want as far as role on the battlefield. I definitely was... I had gotten used to the last 3 games where I could run specialty stuff and still do really well.
Yeah, I made the same mistake.
Yup.
But I ran, and I actually liked the blaster that I was running a lot. Just didn't have as big of a use for it as I wanted to. Instead of running my Alpha Trooper, I ran the Air Max 6 because I can't find any 10s. If they had 10s here, I would buy one.
Yes.
Yeah, I got one.
But it performed really well. It just didn't have that versatility when you have games of 6-on-6, 9-on-9. And we were playing in an area that we normally get about 30 players on, so it's big enough to hold 30 plus people. So we're used to those big games. That field was really big, and I did not have a lot of shots. Other people were running rapid strikes, like, okay, you're up. I got 2 pumps. I was like Arjan in our video. Pump, 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 pump. I'm dead.
I ran my 10. I took an Air Max 10. I did some cutting and drilling and screwing and put a stock mount on it. So, which is cool because it's the one thing that works with the stockade stock. The stockade stock only goes well with the stockade, obviously, which is good because that's what it comes with, right? But it's got the 10. You can hold the 10 darts on it, but the stockade is absolute crap.
Yeah.
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 It's terrible.
I thought you liked the stockade.
Nope. I like the stockade stock.
Stockade was...
You only got...
Sorry. I'm thinking Spectre.
Yeah, the Spectre's good. Stockade is poop on a stick.
It does not get elite ranges. It's
No,
just bad.
even with 3 trust fires in it, it barely gets elite ranges.
See, it makes sense if you look at it before the Strife came out, but afterwards, I'm like, you have no home.
Yeah, except for before the Strife came out, there was the Barricade, which also didn't get elite ranges. It felt like they slapped the elite logo on it, but they didn't change anything from the Barricade.
Yeah, that's pretty much...
like, it's getting the old ranges. What? All you do is paint it blue.
And it only takes 3 AAAs that uses different... So the Hailfire, the Raven, and the Strife all have the same motors.
Yeah.
So I opened this thing up assuming it has the same... No. Nope. These motors, I'm like, ugh.
God, that's so random. Maybe that's why it was released in the UK and over in Europe first, because it was weekend. Because I know in some places, like in Australia, they have to have lower ranges because of safety reasons or whatever they want to claim to make them not hurt people.
I mean, I could understand them putting them there first if they, from what we have heard, they were a bigger market for Nerf. They had bigger growth there than in the US. So maybe they're like, well, let's try this out here. And when it didn't do well, they were just like, yeah, we'll get around to bringing it to you. We know you don't really care. I think they were trying to find somebody to pay for it, to give them exclusivity. And Walmart was finally like, yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, it's $20. I mean, the stock is awesome. Especially if you're going to mod it for an Air Max 10, because it holds 10 extra shots.
Yeah, perfect for that.
Air Max 10 is it is the sniper rifle that the Centurion should have been.
It's basically like a Panther, except for instead of only having 1 shot, you've got 10 in easy, rapid succession, an easy way to pump, because it's basically under barrel, like shotgun style pump.
Only need 3 pumps. And
you don't have to mod it to basically fit elites in it. You can probably throw some brass or something inside of it. I know that a lot of people will CPVC it, but if you just want to run stock darts, it'll run them pretty well. And once they start getting a little bit chewed up and deformed,
once they can't grate that tight seal, it gets rough.
Yeah, so I mean, but I don't think you have to. Everybody's like, oh, you need to put like 4 inches of CPVC. I'm like, you know what? Throw some brass in there just to take up that extra space so it's got a nice tight seal. And then, I mean, not too tight. I know people are going to be like, it's an air blaster. You should use PETG because PETG doesn't have quite a tight a seal. And then all you need to do, put it in there so the brass ain't sticking out. So you don't stab anybody. Money.
Yeah, Shawn, you got to fire it right before the podcast.
Yes, I did. So I was pretty impressed with it. I'd say definitely the type of ammo you're using is going to matter, because we had some old bent up darts from our game prior, and I was firing those, and it was just pooping out darts. Like, oh, look at this 10 feet as it whirls out. B.F.U comes, there's like, no, use these darts. These are good darts. They're fresh. Pop them in. It's like a laser. It just shoots far, fast, and accurate.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, if you're shooting, you can shoulder it at almost 60 flat, which most elites can't do. But I mean, shoot up darts, except for clip blasters, what really shoots shoot up darts well? I feel like clip blasters do okay with it. Blouses.
Blowguns?
Blowguns.
But the hammer shot, you put up a crap dart in the hammer shot. Anything front loading, you put a crap dart in it, it's gonna be terrible.
Yeah, I think it's just more recognizable when you're using a air pump blaster, because when it fires out, it's like, oh, explosion from the back, no barrel to hide what's going on or to help it stabilize. It's just like, nope, you get to see exactly what happens when all that power comes out right behind it.
Right. But I mean, clips can do okay with fairly chewed up darts, but yeah, I mean, it's all darts. But if you pay attention to what you're loading into it, not this past game, the game before that, I was picking people off. No problem. I mean, we have a bridge where we play. It's like a stairwell, but
we call it the bridge.
It's a double-sided stairwell, right? It's elevated. I was able to hold off pretty much the entire other team assaulting with 3 different blasters all on top of the railing of the bridge.
Right.
And you just switch between that, a strife, and something else, and just continue to just pick people off. It was actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
We had a blast.
Yeah, I got up there and was able to do that once this game. We got on the bridge so we were playing Capture the Flag, and we didn't, and then when we finally did King of the Hill, I didn't get the bridge side. I got up there and I was like, yeah, I was handling it, and then I never got back up there again. We ran out of ammo, but once I was there, it was awesome. Running as a primary, that's not why I originally brought it on the field. I brought it on the field to basically do the same thing that me and B.F.U had done before, where run up to drop it off on the top of the bridge, and then use my Alpha Trooper if people are getting close, and then pick people off from a distance. It is perfect for that.
Yeah. That's what the Centurion should be.
Yeah.
Damn it, Nerf, just make a pump gun and call it a day. And then Kyle showed up with that super crazy ball blaster. Looked like an ectoplasma. Oh my God, that thing. I want one. I must have one.
It's got giant flywheels in it. You can hear them like, whoa.
And
it goes, awesome. Boop. It makes like a little
but it was so awesome.
It's like Mr. Bucket.
It is like a Mr. Bucket.
But it was so awesome.
It was cool. He would be running and there's nothing to keep the balls in, so he was just leaking out these yellow Nerf balls like, no. Oh. Uh-oh.
I wonder what different motors or voltage mod will do for that thing.
Which by the way, was super cool because he was dressed as the Pyro.
No.
Or, I'm sorry, the Demo Man from TF2.
Team Fortress 2, for people who don't play computer games.
Wait. Yeah. So let me say, you spelled out Team Fortress 2, but you didn't say end of life is what EOL stands for? I'm just curious.
I like to believe I'm not the only one who's done retail. I want to believe my suffering is not alone in there.
I'm just saying. From TF2, Team Fortress 2, but EOL, I'm not going to explain that. We're just going to roll with it.
Yeah. Sometimes I want to feel like I have hidden words that I use for things.
This is my secret language.
If it's incredibly well known, then I'll clarify. Like, yeah, Team Fortress 2.
Sure.
I think only like half the population of the world knows that.
So I have a viewer question. Since I'm a listener, actually not viewer, listener. Sorry,
you can
view
it
on YouTube.
On YouTube,
yeah, you can look at.
Not
the
exciting.
How do you guys feel season 2 went versus season 1 of your games? And why don't you give everybody a preview of what you plan for season 3? And what were some of your highlights and lowlights from season 2?
You give way too much credit. Like we're planned for season 3 already.
Yes,
we just played our last game. I'm like, I'm tired.
Yeah, but you must have some things churning in the brain of your stat guy.
Yeah, we do have a couple. I would say to sum up season 1, it was very experimental. Josh and I were trying a lot of different things to figure out just what a Nerf war was.
That was our Nerf college days. It was real experimental.
Some stuff happened.
We tried some things. We didn't like some things.
There was a bag of sorting.
I forgot about the bag of sorting. I always
bring it up and people are like, oh my God, there was a bag of sorting. So I'll explain that to you, B.F.U, because you weren't there for it. So the way Nerf started for us, Josh, I guess 3 years ago at this point.
Yeah, at least 3 years ago.
Got me into Nerf for a friend's birthday party. We've gone into the origin story a lot. We've talked about how the first Nerf game was a barbecue where I just invited a bunch of friends, tried to hook them on to Nerf and get them into it. Second game we did was also a barbecue. And then Josh and I realized, you know what? The problem is we all eat a bunch of hamburgers, hot dogs, eat chips, get tired, and stop wanting to play Nerf, so we can't do that.
Yep.
If we're doing Nerf events, we have to make them focus as Nerf events. But I think we both kind of had this picture of what we wanted to be like in our heads. Capture Flag was obviously very popular, Team Deathmatch. But then past that, we were like, well, where do we go from here? So I felt like every game we would introduce a new game type, a new rule type, a new element.
It was stressful.
It was mad
We were
stressful.
like, oh, and we were doing games at that point. Instead of once a month, it was every 2 weeks. So we had 2 weeks to figure out a game type, come up with rules, and figure out like how to break it so that we could unbreak it.
Mm-hmm. And plus locations. Back then, too, every 2 to 3 games, we would switch over to a new location.
Yeah.
Constantly be on the move so we wouldn't have to deal with parents yelling at us. If we ever got kicked out of a place, like, cool, we got 5 other places we can just go to as backup.
It would work.
Yeah, and plus at the time, I was actually unemployed for our first couple of games. So for me, money, now we're like, we have all these ideas and we have the means to finance them. But back then, it was a lot of like, everyone's got to bring their own darts. Everyone has to bring their own blaster.
Yeah.
Just remember who's on your team. It was a lot of, we were lucky with the crowd we had was so forgiving. When we did have new players come in, there were a couple who stuck around, but I feel like overall, our retention level was kind of low. We would have players come for one game, get bored, and not come back.
To be fair, also, those players usually weren't like hardcore Nerf enthusiasts. They were friends of friends that kind of heard about it. We're like, yeah, I'll come try it out. Oh, okay. I've got a Nerf blaster that I have from work because we do office wars or something like that. Steal my little brothers. So we had them show up, and yeah. I mean, we weren't advertising the way we are now. I mean, we don't advertise per se, but we have a bigger presence on Facebook. We have the website up. Stuff like that just didn't exist back then.
We were pushing out more content. I think it was around like our 4th or 5th war that we actually started posting content to BayAreaNerf.com.
Right.
Like we had the URL for a while, but then we actually started creating content specifically for that. And it was around Christmas time. Or actually, no, it was the end of November. It's almost been a year.
It was right as the Elite line was showing up early in Toys R Us's.
Yeah, the Elite 2.0, I think, is the name of our first podcast, isn't it? Is an Elite 2.0?
Yeah, it's Elite 2.0, and I remember the first post was, I think we had a sighting of Elite blasters. At that point, we were like, oh, Elite blasters have been sighted at the Toys R Us here and here in the Bay Area. That was our hot news.
Wow. And then also taking apart a dart, an Elite dart, to look at it.
That is still one of our biggest viewed videos.
Well, when you think about the podcast, we have a video release for it, but nothing's going on in it. We only really have 2 videos. Actually, sorry, 4 videos.
We're going to fix that soon.
We are.
Yeah, that's the plan anyway.
But anyway, I want to hear about get to the bag.
The bag?
Bag of holding.
You started this story for the bag.
Holding. So you know how you've talked about in the
Just
past.
like an old man. He's like Grandpa Simpson.
What are we talking about?
Josh is stat guy and Shawn is tangent guy. If you need a good tangent, Shawn's your guy.
Back in 1992, this was the Russians stole the 20 from us.
If you don't tell me about the bag of holding, I'm flipping the table like in the Hammer Shot video. I swear to God.
Oh, God. I don't have my cape on, though.
Oh, I think this is the same table from the Hammer Shot video.
It is the very table from the Hammer Shot video. And if I don't hear about this bag of holding,
okay,
I'm quitting the podcast and no one's getting fed.
So you know how I talked about how I was unemployed for the first couple of games?
Yes.
I'm like, cool. I want cool stuff like everyone else has. So I got a bunch of duct tape, got some cardboard, having no idea what I was doing. I'm like, I need this blaster, I need this retaliator to fit into this. So I sit here with the retaliator with an 18-round mag in it and create this weird shaped magazine to hold the retaliator blaster and the mag loaded into it at the same time, and just pop it in with duct tape and made a little belt loop with it. And it was the ugliest looking thing.
After that, I made all the props.
I just spend money on nice looking things.
So what happened is before we use a deck of cards to sort out teams, and we got little bandanas for people. It's awesome. No bandanas back then. No nothing. So Shawn was like, yeah, this didn't work out as a holster. Let's use it as a bag. Mm-hmm. What we do is we take, because back then there were a few different colored darts.
You get the orange New Elite Blues. I had the camo ones that came with the dart holder.
The actual dart pouch that Nerf released. So we just would throw them in there, shake it up, and be like, all right, everybody would go around and you'd pick a dart out, and that was whatever team you were on. Mm-hmm. So it became like the bag of sorting for the longest time. We had this stupid bag. And then I don't even remember how we came up with cards. I think I was watching something on YouTube and I was like, that makes so much sense. What have we been doing this whole time?
Well, it's also when we played games like I said, we're trying a bunch of different game types. So we had like Wingman. It's like, okay, cool. We got 4 different dart colors, and we got 8 people here. So put 2 of each color in there, and then you draw, and then you just match
find out
the
who your
dart.
partner is.
That's whose team you're on.
Which you can still do with a deck of cards with numbers and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's too obvious.
I feel like I missed out.
yeah, I mean,
No.
you know.
You got if you tried playing Nerf in our infancy, he might have been like, "Oh, this is stupid.
That is also
What
true.
is this ugly camouflage duct tape bag that Shawn is trying to shove in my face saying grab a dart?"
No,
It-
no. You mean you've seen some of the crap I've put out? It's not exactly pretty.
Oh,
Did
no,
you see? Did you see the Ghetto Blaster yesterday?
I will go and find pictures of the bag of sorting. And yes, I did see the Ghetto Blaster yesterday.
That is ugly.
I'll upload them on the Bayer and Nerf, and I'll put it on Reddit. Be
The-
like,
the
this
bag?
was my first holster. Please rate, comment, subscribe.
Oh,
Don't downvote me. Don't be too harsh.
Oh,
This is
no.
my first time.
If
I'm sorry. That's a different subreddit.
I don't try and personalize stuff anymore. I'm like, what can I buy to make work? I've become
yes.
the 1% of Nerf.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
probably,
I probably-
we're probably all the 1% of Nerf.
I alone
How many
probably
blasters do we own? Yeah, we're in that 1%
I don't
category of
even
Nerfers.
want to.
1%
And I don't
of
mean
the
of the-
Nerfers own
and I don't mean-
99% of the blasters.
I don't mean of the NIC, so don't get it twisted. And be like, I buy a lot of blasters too, Josh. You're not the 1%. I mean of the entire Nerf buying community, 5-year-olds, parents.
You know what? I'll challenge the 1% of the NIC. I bet you I probably own as many
Well,
blasters as they
well,
do.
yeah, but you. So this guy.
No, we've
I was
told the
like-
story about how
told
I.
the story.
Yeah, we know.
Yo.
Everyone
What
heard.
was it, like $300?
Nah, we don't have to rehash it because my wife starts listening to the podcast now, and I don't. She doesn't need to know how much the collection is retail
You
valued
told
at.
this sweet story about how you were saving up for your children's college fund, and then Josh is like, "You gotta try out Nerf."
It's true.
Oh, you guys. So back to the. I'm gonna circle back to the question.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, what do you feel were the highlights of season 2? Actually, well, no, we're gonna start on a negative note. What do you feel were some of the lowlights of season 2? Some of the things that if you could go back and say, I don't know if that really worked the way we thought it would. I would have planned it better. Just what do you think?
Yeah, I want to say was Hats season 2.
No,
Nope.
Hats was
season one.
season 1, huh?
I don't.
yeah.
I know nothing of Hats, and I've been in every. I have not missed a game in season 2.
That's true.
Yeah.
Hats was like I said, we're very experimental.
I asked
so-
about season 2.
Okay, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
So the difference is what I was going to lead into is season 2. We were a lot safer. We played games we knew people liked. Obviously, what we did in a different direction. We got focused on the negative. I keep going over to the positive.
No, we'll get to the positive. Don't worry. I'm just trying to
Yeah,
give
so-
both sides. What do you think?
I would say the biggest thing would be clarity for rules. I guess for some people.
Yeah, we did have some rules things that still needed a little bit of ironing out.
Like the double flag capture?
Yeah, so I do feel really bad about that. There was a situation in one of our games where we have Josh created, once again, Josh actually knows what he's doing. So he created these prop flags that are like about 6 foot, 7 foot tall.
They're awesome.
They're awesome. We have alarms in the buckets that when you remove the flag, you hear a little go off, and it's really cool. The way we play Capture the Flag is when you're holding a flag, you're not allowed to fire with your blaster. You cannot hand or throw off the flag. The only thing you're allowed to do is drop the flag on the ground. When you get shot, you also drop your flag on the ground.
Now, to be fair, the rules did not say that. The rules just said if you pick up the flag, you may not pass it, you may not roll it, you may not throw it.
Yeah.
You must drop the flag in order to return fire. You can't fire your blaster while you are holding the flag. So it didn't actually in the rules say you can't do anything except hold the flag.
It's just usually in the context of our wars, we think, what else can you do besides blast other people?
Yes.
So I feel like a lot of people interpret it that way. So what happened was one of our players got my team's flag.
Yes.
And he got very close to his base. Me and another of our players chased him down about, I would say, 15, 20 feet away from the flag he was about to capture.
So
It was
close.
so close. It was either me or the other guy shot him down. I pick up the flag, go wide because I don't want to run straight down the little trench run I just did down the Death Star. So I go wide. And as I'm going wide, I'm actually running right by the enemy flag, which is still in its base, while I'm holding on to my flag. So I look and I'm like, wait a minute. I can grab both flags. There's nothing stopping me right now. So as I'm running back with my flag, I pick up the other flag. out of the station, and I'm running with both flags and my Alpha Trooper in hand. And it's a weird juggling, but I'm running with both these flags, and I'm thinking, oh, I have both flags. If I capture them, this is going to be the coolest thing ever. The player who was originally carrying back my flag yells, "You're not allowed to do that." And unfortunately, the first thought in my head is, wait a minute. Yes, I am. I helped write the rules. I know exactly what they are. I'm allowed to do this. And so I'm running with both flags. And then who's running behind me? Nobody else but B.F.U. We had our buddy Arjong. He was running support. He was just chasing me down. I'm running as fast as I can. Arjong gets shot. I get shot in the back when I'm so close.
Oh, it was.
I have all this. Up to this point, I have all this on video, everyone, just FYI. Mm-hmm. We'll be in the season 2 highlight reel.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I chased Shawn down like a terrorist in Afghanistan.
Yes.
So the beauty of it was most of our team, because I was not on Shawn's team, most of our team is at the respawn point, like, oh, they got our flag. We're like, oh, we got their flag. Oh, we saw them go around a corner. We see Shawn coming back with 2 flags. Like, what just happened? Then we see B.F.U. like running. We're like, oh, B.F.U. It's done. He's got both the flags. We're all at respawn. We're counting. Suddenly B.F.U. is like, meh, goes around another corner. It's like, and then he comes back with both flags. It was like a Scooby-Doo moment. Like they're running in and out of doors with flags. He's like, oh, where's Shawn go? Oh, he's in his door. It was awesome.
And all of it on film with my camera mount. I think it's the first time we ran the camera mount. It was so I'll pick up the story from here because I was the first one to see it. Well, hear it.
Oh,
so
yeah,
Shawn gets shot. I get the flags back. I almost pass out. Shawn and I are both like, "Oh, that was so awesome!" And Shawn and I are bigger dudes.
Yeah.
So this is a run for us, and I'm quite a bit older than these guys. I'm about 6-7 years older than these guys. So between that 2 captures, those are 2 large gentlemen exchanging flags and sprinting quite a bit. So I get back home for the night. I pull out my iTouch and I listen. So I drop. So the reason Shawn didn't get the capture, by the way, is because he kept his Alpha Trooper. I dropped my gun. I saw Shawn's folly. I pick up the 2 flags. My gun lays on the ground. It's not coming with me. I don't care. I run the audio, and in the background, you just hear this dude lose it. This gentleman, I only met him twice. I'm not going to say his name. He loses it. He said, if these are the rules, then they're not good enough for me. And, it's funny to laugh at it at first, but you're right. Being more clear probably would have avoided that situation. And it's good for you guys to own up to that. And I have a lot of respect for you guys. You guys do a really good job of when a rule is not right, correcting it on the spot or thinking about it after the game and hosting that little powwow after the game for us to talk and give you guys feedback. So
I was going to say, for the best things that we did, I mean, we created some new game types and stuff, but I think the feedback was awesome. We always, like we've said before, try to do the roundtable discussion, get feedback. It's for stuff like that, for people to say this rule doesn't make sense or that rule doesn't make sense. Like recently what we did is we changed the flag capture rules. Actually, we've made a lot of rules changes this season. We took out the dead men tell no tales rule because we think, you know what, we're going to promote communication between teams instead of hindering it. And it's really hard to enforce anyway. We took out the if you're dead you can still pick up darts rule. We're like, you know what, you have to be alive to pick up darts. That way you're not just walking in through the enemy base. You can be like, well, I'm just picking up darts, I'm dead, so it doesn't matter. And then also get intel. And then when you're back alive, you can be like, there's this many people back there. They've got one guy hiding in a bush, blah, blah, blah. We took that out. We made the sticky flag rule. So basically, if you pick up a flag now, you have to hold on to it until either you are hit and you drop it, or you win. So there's no more like dropping the flag and then taking shots at people and letting someone else come and pick it up, like as a kind of almost handoff.
I would like to clarify the sticky flag rule does allow you to pick up another flag at the same time too.
It does allow for that. It does not
stop
say
you from picking up more things. It's just setting down things.
It does. And then the other big one that we did is we finally pretty much nixed our dart catching rule. We had dodgeball rules in effect, so if you fired at somebody and they caught the dart, the person who fired it was out. It was really cool when we thought of it, because we're like, yeah, you're going to have to be like some kung fu ninja. I'm going to grab a dart out of the air. Yeah, suddenly people started realizing, like, you can do that? So we had people dropping their blasters and, like, diving for darts, like catching like a baseball. We had people hit it with their hands back up into the air so that would kind of slow it down
Doing
and
a
then
little
catch it.
volley with it.
Yeah, that was, and so we're just like, you know what, we can't. This is, so we went over all these different ideas for rules where we're like, well, what if we say you have to catch it with one hand? What if you say you can't slap it, you have to catch it, but you can't do that? And there were like 5, like 10, we had more rules for catching a dart than we did for playing Nerf. And I was like, that's way too complicated. Let's just make it, you can still catch a dart. If you catch a dart, you're cool and you're not out, but neither is the other person.
Yeah, it's no longer an offensive move to drop your blaster and catch someone else to get them out.
Right. There's no strategic real advantage other than just instilling fear into people like, I got a dart. Mm-hmm. I'm awesome.
And then you bite off its head and yell.
Because, I mean, a lot of times what you do is...
Don't bite off the head. We're short on darts. Don't do... Everyone, don't. It's running low. Don't bite off the head.
Josh is the worst person
sparse
for biting darts.
I only buy darts that are messed up.
I know. I didn't say you were bad for doing it. I'm just saying that Josh probably has the highest percentage of biting darts in half.
That is true.
And,
but
and canker sores to go with it.
Yes. Wait, what?
Josh, there's one time where we were walking the field after a game. You just find a dart and you're like, oh, okay. And then you put it in your mouth. And I'm like, dude, that's been sitting out for days at least.
Canker sores.
Yeah, it was fine.
And Josh never gets sick.
It was sun bleach. But what I was going to say was the 45. So you hit that 45-degree angle when you're kind of taking pot shots at people just to sort of keep them back. And people just be like, cut, you're out. Because it's not even coming straight at you anymore. That velocity is like, it's like a fly ball. You're just like, let me just get my mitt. I'm going to catch this dart. Mm-mm.
So, Josh, just to kind of get back on topic, what did you not like about this season?
What was an opportunity that you think you can improve?
Ooh. Opportunity to improve? I mean, I think our 2 new game types need some improvement. Mm-hmm. It's just the same thing that happened with Capture the Flag. Like I said, to the last game of this season, we finally changed the flag rule and all the catching rules. So even though people would say, oh yeah, they've really got Capture the Flag in the bag, like we're still making rules changes. These 2 new game types are sort of in their infancy, so there's just a lot of stuff that we need to do and address. Placement of things on the field, respawn points, just different tactical advantages that one side has over the other in the configuration of the field, the way that we put things. So, I mean, I think that's our biggest thing that we need to work on improving right now. Mm-hmm. And get more darts. Always more darts.
Those are both fantastic answers. So I'll go to the other side of the question. Now Shawn's coming out of his seat. What did you guys like about season? Like what was your, let's do it this way so we don't ramble for too long. Shawn, what were your, or Josh, whoever wants to go first, what were your 2 defining moments of season 2? One from a player perspective and one from a moderator perspective.
Ooh. I would say from a moderator perspective right away, I love that our games got bigger.
Yeah.
I love that our games got bigger. We had a lot of new players who either heard about us from the internet, heard about us from friends of friends. Our retention rate went, I feel like, through the roof. I feel like all the players who came and played really enjoyed it and came back for more games.
Yep.
There were no more one-offs. And just, I'll be honest, I made a lot of new friends this season. Like people I didn't know that well before, or people I kind of knew, or just brand new people who we just, besides Nerf, had a lot of stuff in common. So as a moderator, I really enjoyed watching people enjoy the game, watching the game grow, getting to bigger sizes, and just watching it Nerf grow in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
As a player, that's a hard question because I feel like every game there's something badass that I just love. I mean,
to be fair, you are still now our... Oh, no, you didn't. Never mind.
Yeah.
Next, I was going to say you did our only 2 flag capture, but then B.F.U shot you in the back and he captured the flag. So you were the first player to do a 2 flag capture. Well, he was the first person to actually capture them and end the game.
That works.
Right?
Yeah.
As a player, actually, no, I got it. I know exactly the moment that I enjoyed so much this season is I've been running stripes ever since they came out. I was running 2 stripes, 1 stripes, voltage mods. The only thing I didn't do was do a motor swap on my stripe, but I loved it. That was my workhorse. I would go to HVZ events and be like, look at how fast I can shoot all these zombies around me. I pegged 5 zombies in 5 seconds and got them all down and felt badass. The game The Rapid Strike came out. I went in with even higher expectation, like this is going to be so good. Use it, jams a couple times. First game, I'm so bummed out. It's like, oh man, and I don't want to swap out the batteries into another blaster. I don't have the time to do that. oh, I brought my Alpha Trooper. Let me bust that out. I'll just use that for a couple games. And I used it, and I'm like, it was like angels went off in my head. I was like, oh! It's like, why did I ever stop using this blaster? This is exactly... It was the first blaster I used when I got into Nerf, the original Alpha Trooper, the new Elite Alpha Trooper, hands down. Like, I talk about a lot of good blasters I think are fine for people. When I was using the Alpha Trooper again, suddenly, all of it was coming back to me. Where, like, in the first couple of games that we played last Season 1, but like, yeah, I'm actually good at this game. I'm kind of skilled. With the Strife, I felt like I just have to rush and be anxious to try and get hits. With this, suddenly I'm like, I feel like I'm 80 feet away. People are walking me down on the basketball courts. Take a shot, it goes right by their head. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I found my range again. I remember how to play this game.
Stella got her groove back, folks.
Yes.
Basically, the beast inside me awakened. Is like, yes. Alpha Trooper, and just ever since I've been feeling like a better player again, and it makes me really, really happy to feel like I'm back onto a level back in my prime a year ago when I was Nerf.
Your prime.
So that
when I was a young lad.
So to summarize, basically from a moderator perspective, your favorite moment was meeting new people, making some friends, and watching your small game grow into a real thing.
Right.
Yeah. Pretty good. And then
thanks for taking like the whole thing, Shawn. Like,
and then
you can get turned to say stuff
from a player.
No, I mean, like, you're like, yeah, the whole part was being a moderator. I like watching it grow. Like, damn, that's like everything.
I got 5 other moderators responses I can give right now. So if you can't think of anything else, that's on you.
And then from a player perspective, you fell in love with an old friend all over again.
Yes, it was beautiful. Love lift
you know what's funny? Actually, I won't. I'm going to ask you a question afterwards. But so,
the eagles fly.
Yeah,
Josh, I'm going to follow up with you. So same question. I'll rephrase them again.
Yep.
From a moderator perspective, what was your top moment? And then from a player perspective, what was your top moment?
Moderator, you know what was actually interesting that I really was like, this is awesome, was discovering timers. I don't know.
God, you're so right.
I don't know why we didn't think of this earlier, but we actually, I wish I could remember the YouTube user that inspired this, but I was just watching random Nerf games on YouTube, and I saw somebody and they were doing it in their church, and they had basically what we now have is sort of King of the Hill. They had different points they had to capture, and they just had 2 timers there, and people would run up and hit the timer, and boom. All right, they're on the clock, and they fight back and forth for it. I'm like, that makes sense. I'm like sending Shawn messages like, Shawn, what about timers? And I was like, well, what about
like, watch this video?
I'm like, dude, this game type looks really fun, and even though we don't have that area, like, we could do this exact same thing with timers, and that led to one game type, and then we were like, this game type's really fun. It seems like we've already kind of started to figure it out a lot. Let's work on another game type. Like, yeah, we'll figure it out over the next few weeks. We go to dinner, figured it out in like an hour. Like, we'll just use the timers, do this, and this. Yeah, I can't see any way to break that. That works. Let's do it.
Like, so many times, like, going back to Season 1 when we tried a bunch of different game types, one of them was Plant the Bomb.
Yeah.
And it evolved into Hats, which didn't work out, unfortunately. But we were sitting here, and we had a timer on our thing.
We did.
And we're like, okay, so people have to hit the buttons and do this and do this. So the one thing I would expand upon what Josh said is not timer, more timers.
Yeah.
Multiple timers. Put timers everywhere. You suddenly have all these zones you can collect points for in a mass score.
Yes.
It's not flags or items. It's just time.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Awesome.
Yeah, so that was, it
Very
was like an
awesome.
epiphany. Like, timers.
Okay.
Awesome.
Timers are probably, like, going forward, I would say timers are probably going to be our main vehicle for actually making new games.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
It just seems like a quick and easy way to be like, look, you hit a button and you're winning now.
Exactly. As a player, man, there were a lot of good moments in the game. I think one of the most fun things I did was make a holster for my hammer shot. Honestly, because I rolled up in the game like, yeah, look at this. Oh, it looks awesome. People are like, where'd you get this holster? I'm like, I made it. It's not out of duct tape. It's like the first holster that I made. I'm like, yeah, that just put like Shawn's duct tape holster.
Let's do side by side on a Reddit post. Like, here's Josh's first holster he made for a hammer shot, And here's Shawn's first holster. I gotta have that in the garage. I think I know exactly where it is too.
Dilapidated
I hide
mess.
my shame.
But that was, I mean, there's so many good moments. It's hard to choose like a highlight reel. It's hard to just be like, that was the one, the defining moment. Because, I mean, it's a flag capture. It's this. There's just epic trade-offs and shooting each other. But that was pretty fun.
Yeah. I mean, there was one time, another good moment too, when I was like, flag captures all the time. You always feel like a badass when it's going on. One time I remember I got the flag and I was running back and I was running kind of like how Josh said, there's that little hallway where you can see people running in the field, but you're too far away and still respawning. You can't do anything. I was running by and I just yelled, whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah.
I felt like I was a little man doing big things.
See, yeah, there's so many great moments like that. It's hard to choose.
And one of their faster players was running right behind me, and two players just come up right behind me to block him off too.
Oh,
and I'm
yeah.
like, it was Paul, who was like king of defense. Just he will sit here from 100 feet away with a modded. It's
Retaliator.
Is it a Retaliator?
It's a Retaliator.
Or was he still using the Recon for a while? But it's a Retaliator.
It's definitely Retaliator now.
I swear, he hits people from across the field like it's nothing. And you get shot, and he just waves. Not as a jerk. He's just like, "Hi, I just want to make sure you know that I hit you."
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I like about our games. I feel like every game there's one moment where you can feel like a badass and you did something right.
That is true.
So what I want to know, B.F.U, is what did you not like about this season? I'm going to turn the question around on you, and then there's going to be a good segment afterwards.
Okay. It's tough because I can't think of any one thing that sticks out that I didn't like. I would
getting shot like point blank by a single Titan.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that was more of a. Yeah, I wasn't happy about that. I was just more surprised that something could actually bruise me because I don't bruise easy. But yeah, maybe that. I would say I would like to play a game once or twice where we pick teams like dodgeball. Mm-hmm. Like I know and I know Josh gave me the reason we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or whatever. I would like 2 team captains. I would actually like to see you guys split off as team captains.
That'd be good.
Yep.
And we do pixies.
So one time, Josh and I went to a game in the area. It was called Bayno, and they
I
did the team captain picking, and it was the guy running it, Righteous Fondue, was one side, and our buddy Kimball was the other side. And here I am thinking, oh, Kimball's gonna pick all of us and stuff like that. I was the last one he picked.
he picked other people.
He picked other people he didn't know before me because like I like how your blaster looks, and I'm like. Kimball, like I never told him this, and now he's going to know because he listens to the podcast.
See, the thing is, I'm going to give Kimball the benefit of the doubt here and assume that he was already getting all of us, and he thought that we were good players, and he knew us, right?
Yeah,
so I think
he knew I wasn't a good player.
I think he kept letting Righteous Fondue like, yo, you can pick some of our guys. Like, feel free to pick. I don't want to pick all. Okay, fine. You know what? I'm just going to pick him then. Like he was giving him the opportunity to like mix it up, and he didn't mix it up. So he was like, all right, fine, Shawn, you're also
Kimball
over here.
was like that. I was like, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I just that for me would be. I would say it wasn't a negative. It would just be something I'd like to try.
It's an opportunity for
I
potential
think
success.
just try. I mean, I don't think it'll work, but it would be something like yesterday would have been a good day to pick teams.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, yesterday would have been a good day to pick teams and split the talent up.
Yeah.
I think it's hard for new players though because I guess they get to know the other players too. But like,
I mean, because if you guys are picking, it's going to come out a pretty even split.
yeah, I feel like
Correct.
Josh and I will be pretty fair. In
Yeah,
what we pick.
I mean, even if you let me and Kimball pick, it'll still come out an even split. If you let the core veteran people that show up almost every Nerf game pick, it's gonna come out pretty even, Steven, and then all the noobs won't end up on one team. That will, I will say, one of the most frustrating. I got stuck on a couple noob teams, and again, I'm a noob, right? So this is my first season. I'm still a rookie. I feel like I caught on fairly quickly on how the game is played. And I'm big on communication, and I'm a little older and a little crotchety. That's grumpy is definitely a word that's been used to describe me a couple times. I have very low patience for telling people things like 7 times. And like, there's been situations where I've had to tell people to communicate, and I'm like, we are getting our tail. I don't mind losing in Nerf. It's only Nerf.
Yeah.
I don't like getting my tail kicked in anything. I'm a competitive person. I play basketball. I do other sports.
Right.
I don't like lose. I don't like getting blown out. Nobody likes getting thrashed.
Yeah.
No, because then you're like, it's like a waste of a game you want to play this blaster. You don't get to see how it performs. So, you know, I would say that's probably it. But I mean, that's super obscenely minor in all the joy Nerf has brought me this season. I mean,
that's what it is bringing joy to people through Nerf.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's really it. I'd say that opportunity to figure out how to balance it. Not for every game type. I think it doesn't. I think the team isn't so bad in every game. I think domination, you have to have a pretty balanced team or you're going to get handled. CTF, I've seen some underdog teams win capture the flag.
Yeah.
But domination, I don't know. I haven't seen the underdog team really.
Well, the difference between domination and capture the flag, just to go off tangent for a second, is that, I mean, you need one person for a flag capture. You need a team to hold down the points in domination.
And there's multiple points.
Yeah,
too.
no, it's
that.
a huge uptick in strategy. Like I thought when we first started playing, I was like, oh, CTF, this is some strategy. Yeah, it is. But you get a couple good people, and I've been on a team with myself being okay and 2 good people, and we've run roughshot over a whole group of good people.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter because you just get that couple sneaky captures and you're good.
Exactly.
Domination ain't working that way. We've now played, I think, 12 games of domination, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's the best team has won the domination game every single time.
Yeah, it's always been communication.
Yep.
That the biggest thing. You can have if people are listening to you, even if they're new. Like, we need people over here. We need people to do this, to do that. Boom.
Yeah, you have a couple people step up to be leaders. Like a couple games ago, one of our players, Eileen. Like, I feel like here in the Bay Area, the player usually, I think everyone knows is Ryan. Ryan goes to every single Nerf game.
Yep.
He's always known as the fast runner. He always does crazy mods. But his girlfriend, Eileen, has also been to every Nerf game. And here's something I've been saying since season 1. And people always laugh at me. He's like, Eileen is clutch. Like, oh, that's so adorable. She's small. She's like 5'2", super tiny, just running with a little blaster, always smiling and waving. So you think she's super nice. But this season, I don't know, something flipped in her. She was getting tired of Ryan getting all the praise. Let me emphasize once again, Eileen's a nice person, so I'm doubting she's having any of these slots, but in my head it's so much funnier if she's just like, no, it's Eileen's time to shine.
She found the eye of the tiger.
Because like the past couple games, she'll just come out yelling and like...
It has been pretty awesome. She used to hide in like bushes and in the corners, like, oh, okay. Now she's like, ah!
She'll run out to the middle field, chase someone down, have like a slam fire blaster, and just go for it. And I'm like, Eileen, and I'll just like running away. I'm a 6 foot tall man. I am not small, but I will run away in fear when I see her charging me. Those eyes are so cold.
Yes.
But it's funny because she's really stepped up and has been playing a lot better. And the past, not the last game, but the past 2 games before that, she actually has run in and gotten the flag and run it back.
Oh no, I think she had a capture this weekend, didn't she?
Oh, did she?
No, she wasn't.
Last
Weekend. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I remember costumes. Sorry.
Yeah.
We were going once a month, and because it was Halloween, we did 2. So I'm thinking last game. And I'm like, no, last game was yesterday, and we were all dressed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she ran in and did 2 flag captures, and it was funny because, like I said, Ryan runs all the time. He is a fast player. He does HVZ. He always goes zombie, and he's like, yeah, I got like a quarter of the population. Like, fantastic. So the fact that Eileen has captured twice in 2 games, and like, Ryan, what's the last time you captured a flag?
That's funny. It was actually yesterday.
It was yesterday. I remember when you said that to Ryan, he was like a few hours ago. Like,
but
handled.
I mean, I think actually domination's funny. Yesterday was the first time I lost.
Yeah,
I've never lost domination until yesterday.
I've lost domination both times.
Communication was rough.
Yeah, we could tell.
The original point I was going to make, I totally forgot because I got off topic. Eileen, I trust enough to this point where, like, okay, we need to split up. So Ryan, go harass the portables or whatever. I'll run with a couple people at center. Eileen, you take a crack team of all the flywheel blasters and you go to hold down the office because I know you got that unlocked. And she's like, yeah. Well, before she'd be like, no, I don't want to do things, and now she's like, yeah, that's my shit.
Yeah, I
got this.
I think she's killed me more than anybody else this season.
That would not surprise me.
Pretty sure that she's killed me more often than anybody else.
That's like me and Paul. Paul is he's never on my team, and he always gets me, and he's always like, hi. I'm like, damn it, Paul, I can't be mad at you. You're too good.
It's actually funny. I don't think I've traded kills with you two very often.
I never go up against Josh. We're always on opposite teams to start off to make sure that people are getting explained rules when they need to. Like, I'll get into it with you. I'll see you on the bridge. I'm like, I need to clear you out. And you're like, fine up there with your
Yeah, but I don't get to kill. We don't trade it that often.
We don't kill each other.
Yeah, I trade with Zach a lot.
Yeah.
But I think we kind of stalk each other down. Jeff, I trade with Jeff a lot. You two, I don't really like. I think I killed Josh for the first time in like 2 months yesterday.
Oh yeah, on the bridge.
And it was mad sneaky.
You were channeling Arjan. He's gotten that same kill on me like 3 times. We're sitting at the bridge, and our team holds the middle point, and I'll be checking one side. He just walks up on top of the bridge and just shoots me. And I look around at my team, who's looking at him like, "Oh yeah, we should have told you he was there." Like, why didn't you? What?
Communication.
Yeah, well, that's how we got smoked yesterday. We lost by like 10 minutes, which is pretty. When in a 30-minute game, losing by a third of the game is rough.
Which they were winning like the first 15 minutes.
Yeah,
like hardcore.
And then talking had to happen, and then that wasn't so good.
Yeah,
but I mean, that's why I would say for certain games, for that. But
it might. Yeah, I mean that's something that balancing. Well, the other thing is capture the flag. Used to be we'd do best of 3. It would go really fast, then we'd switch it up. So the teams would get randomized so much.
Yep.
That it didn't matter. But you're right, with a game like that, we might need to look at just...
Yeah, there's nothing more torturous than getting your butt handed to you for the better part of a hour.
I mean, something we could do is even just take the vet players, like pick Josh and me on separate teams, pick 2 vet players we always know are going to be on our team.
Right.
And then just constantly roll out.
Yeah, I mean, the reason we stopped is so that we would just always get to play with new people. And, we get to play with each other.
Like I said, the reasoning, very solid. That's why I never even bring it up. But I think that would be sense. That's my opportunities for the season,
especially for very strategic and team-based game types.
I feel like if the game continued to grow and get bigger, where we suddenly had like 50 people showing up, then at a certain point I'd be like, you know what? 4 teams, pick your teams, and you can just run, and we'll take turns playing each other. So that way you're playing different groups.
Yeah,
and then there's more ownership, but that would require more promotion on our part, which we know what we'd have to do for that. But B, the big thing holding us back is location. We would need a bigger location that would still provide the dynamic nature we get from our current location, as well as being able to house that many people.
Yeah.
That's the hard part. And plus, no one likes to sit around, too.
So to bring us back, what was your favorite thing of this season? So we started with the negative.
So I think it was my favorite thing.
Not you.
Quiet you.
I don't know if I have one favorite thing. It's my first season, so
it's true.
I don't think, one favorite thing. I don't know. I fell in love with a lot of blasters. I fell out of love with a lot of blasters. Fell back in love with a couple. Got to make mod videos with you guys. Got to do the podcast. Got to try to help you guys with some suggestions on how to grow the game. So I'd say my favorite thing is you guys letting me really try to help you make an impact.
Awesome.
I feel like maybe I added some value a little bit here and there.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I mean, you dwarfed everybody else's appearances on the podcast. Yes. I don't know if you noticed that.
It's because I have a house.
Yes. That also helps.
If you would like to be on Nerfcast, let us into your house and cook us food.
Yeah, that's it. I would say moment-wise, the double capture was pretty awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was only because I did not know you guys had never had double capture before.
Yep.
And then when it was completed, Shawn was just like, that was awesome.
Even though I got shot, I'm like, you know what? The only thing that's cooler than a double flag capture is a double flag return recapture.
Yeah, we had a lot of firsts this season with stuff like that.
I think one of my favorite moments was actually getting killed. I had taken the bridge in a game. I think it might have been, I don't remember. I think it was capture the flag. I had cleared out like half the other team. And Lingy from like 90 feet away, dart pushes a dart. And I'm on the bridge. I'm talking so much crap. I'm like, you guys all suck. I own all of you. I am the greatest nerfer. And it hits me in the middle of the chest. And all I hear is Josh go,
it was so funny.
And I'm like, oh no. And it was such a great moment because everybody was just laughing. And I just put my head down. I was like, I earned that. And I just walked back to the... That was fun.
That is one thing I just remember from the first season that we don't do as much this season. We had a lot of trash talk first season.
Yeah, we don't.
Because with us, it was basically our games were like 12 to 15 people. They were way smaller than they are now.
But they were also all of our friends. So we knew we could get away with a certain amount of trash talk. Now it's like, oh, we don't want to we don't be off-putting to new people.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, you have that buddy dynamic and you trash talk somebody that you know. And they may be like, oh, this guy doesn't talk to me, like, and then be antisocial. But then you don't want to trash talk them because you don't want to make them actually feel bad either.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah, I feel like I started the season doing a little bit of trash talk, and then as it progressed,
yeah,
I was like, I better not. I don't want to lose any players for their game except for that one dude.
Who shot you in the chest?
Yeah. No, that was Lingy.
Lingy.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, single boy.
Where was that, by the way? They hit you arm?
Yeah, they hit me underneath my bicep. It took like 3 weeks for the bruise to go away. Jeez. And I was not, and it's not like I'm like, oh my God, I'm hurt. I can't play Nerf. I was like, you know what it was? It wasn't the shot in the arm. It was like 10 minutes later, he ran around the corner and tried to shoot me from like 7 inches away in the crotch.
Yeah.
Then I was like, you do that again, I'm breaking that blaster over your head. And then I was like, I was like, Josh, what's the suspension for? He's like, yeah, you're pretty much done for the season. I'm like, oh, I can't do that. I was like, it's cool. And it's not even, I mean, I've talked to that dude. That dude's a cool dude. It's just like, and I mean,
we had that stuff happen in airsoft too. There are minimum engagement distances because it gets dangerous when you get close with certain weaponry. But it's like you come around a corner or somebody pops up, like your instinct is pull that trigger.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it is what it is.
He ran around the corner though. He knew where I was. I mean, it was a crotch shot. I was like, dude, my wife will probably not be happy with this. So you better, watch out.
Eye for an eye.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's other thing I wanted to say is, I don't hope I'm not stepping on your guys' toes, but if anyone that played wants to throw some comments up on the Facebook page about what they liked about this season, that would be awesome. And we could talk about it on the podcast next time.
Yeah, I like that. Oh, you were going to ask Shawn a question. Do you remember what it was? Yeah, see. You were like, Shawn, I'm gonna let Josh go. I'm going to ask you a question. It was something.
No, then start talking about Eileen.
Then we got off on like 3 different tangents.
Yeah, it was a whole completely unrelated question, and I'm trying to, I try to steer us.
Yeah.
Keep us on the river.
Yep.
The wide river.
Just around the river bend.
So what do you guys think of, so for next season, first of all, you guys looking forward to the off season?
Actually, yeah.
I here's the thing. When it's time for off season, I'm like, oh, thank God it's time for a break. But then within a month, I'm like, I want to play Nerf again.
Yep.
I miss it. But this is why, like, I'll let Josh talk because he was about to talk.
Oh no, I was just agreeing with you. I mean, I'm looking forward to the off season just because it's nice to have a little bit of a break. Nice to be able to work on some Nerf projects, to tighten up some of the rules, the graphics on level 3. I mean, it's just going through and looking at our stuff, having time to prepare for things like picking up more darts, going through our old darts and taking out the crap ones, stuff like that. So it's just kind of like resetting, getting geared up. We haven't really planned out things. Like obviously our first season, second season, we didn't really plan out. It just sort of happened. The only thing we really said was, hey, let's go once a month instead of every 2 weeks because that was rough.
Yeah, it gives us more space to kind of build more stuff. And we came out strong first season. Like, I invented side games where you can find collectibles in the game and get raffle tickets for that. We did a deployable cover where you can build cover and place it and hide behind people, and it just became too cumbersome to bring to every game, so I stopped doing it.
I mean, there's a lot of things I think we're going to reevaluate in the off season. We might even plan season 3 a little bit more. Get some chess timers for the timers, make some investments, and maybe what was the other one I was going to say? Maybe figure out the theme beforehand. Get a bunch of stuff. So this season we had a 8-bit old Nintendo game theme. For every game was named after like a Nintendo game except for the Halloween one.
Yeah.
And by the end we were like, what's another Nintendo game? What haven't we done?
You guys should do Rock Bands.
Yes, we might do that.
Rock Band.
Well, we might have a list that like we in the off season when we have time, instead of going like a week before we have to post the game, trying to figure it out the night before, being like, yeah, well, here's what we already made a list for at least 10 or 11 things.
We're good.
It's
funny because Josh and I would like sit down for like a half hour sometimes. Like, what do we want to call this one?
we would be looking up games on the internet.
I feel bad because you kept suggesting the same game over and over again. Like, why do we do this one? And I'm like, because it's not Nintendo. I had the sub theme going on.
Well, I don't remember a non-Nintendo game.
Was it Bonk?
I don't think I played a game that wasn't on Nintendo.
That was either Super Nintendo or it was like a Sega. And you kept suggesting it like every time.
Altered Nerf?
No,
not that one. Not Altered.
I don't remember that. Because I remember we were going 8-bit.
Chat conversations and find it. But you kept suggesting. Oh, it was
it Master Blaster?
Yes, you kept saying.
I'm pretty sure that they did a Nintendo version of that.
I think they did.
Yeah.
You're high.
I was looking at because I'm like, every time we had a conversation, I usually brought up a list of Nintendo games.
It might have been another one.
It might have been another one.
You know what? Did you guys ever do one of the games ever Friday the Nerf-teenth?
No, this is our first Halloween game, so we did Nightmare on Nerf Street.
Got it.
Next year we might vary it up. The one that we were gonna do for our final game
was
Final Nerf for Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
To be fair, if we ever do another generation of consoles, we can just be like Final Nerf 3 or 4, whatever
Final
it is.
Nerf 7
Yeah.
with Cloud Strife.
Because it's a blaster.
I
get it.
I feel like it's going to be a long off season.
It always feels that way.
It's going to feel long, but the thing that Josh and I do to make up for that is we come out with a lot more content for the blog. Like, that's how Nerfcast got started, really.
Yeah.
Because after we're done Nerf, it's like we have all this time to work on stuff. It's like end of November, we're already bored. Let's start doing a podcast about Nerf.
That is true.
So we can look forward to a lot more content on the blog and maybe some more podcast stuff, maybe some videos.
Yeah, we want to get some videos and stuff going.
Gotta itch that scratch.
Or
that itch.
or you just play laser tag indoors.
Eltar.
After playing Nerf, I don't know if I can go back to laser tag.
I don't know. I have this Eltar stuff sitting around. I want to try it out.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not thinking of doing like Nerf style games because everybody has to have Eltar blasters. I only got 2.
We'd have
He's
to all
got
dress
2.
like Tron characters.
Yeah,
But I mean, if we got a small
You know,
place,
there's
we get some
no
people together.
variety.
That is true. That is what I like about Nerf.
Unless I could take out the internals and put them in a Nerf gun.
You can do that. I've seen some people do that.
Sledgefire.
Tactical Tag is a good place to start. He got me like Jones in for some laser tag last season, like after last season, and they were on sale, so I bought some laser tag blasters and convinced other people to buy them. We never did anything with them, and I feel bad.
Yeah, I had like 4 in my trunk for the longest
I
time.
have like 6 Phoenix LTXs, and I know people on the Nerfcast that doesn't mean anything to you, but Tactical Tag's probably like, really? What? You have 6? Send them to me. I would send them to you, Bazookafied, because you're a cool guy and you dressed as Captain America for your last year's laser tag
I like him already.
war. Yep. Good stuff. So,
Yes.
other stuff off season, looking forward to, not looking forward to, doing over.
I get cold. It's cold during the winter.
I'm gonna have time for video games again. I got me a Pokemon's.
Oh, I remember
my
that from
3DS.
last time. We were playing Skyrim.
We were mad playing Skyrim in the off season.
Skyrim is so awesome!
We figured out how to turn Skyrim into a multiplayer game.
Oh, God.
We all just got on Xbox Live and we're playing at the same time, and it was cool.
Okay, so I got a story about that series.
Yes,
Yep.
I got a story too.
So, not Skyrim.
Oblivion.
Was it before Oblivion?
Borderlands 2.
No, on the original Xbox.
Morrowind.
Morrowind. Yeah. So, Morrowind came out, and this is before Xbox Live was really a thing.
Yep.
My boy, you guys have both met Jeff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jeff and I somehow lived a block from each other, right? About 2-3 years before I moved to California. He happened to rent an apartment literally around the block from mine. That game came out. Everybody would come to Jeff's house. We would all bring TVs, and we would set up in different parts of the house
That's
and
awesome.
play Morrowind at the same time.
That is pretty much what Josh Arjong and I did when Skyrim came out. Like, they both bought it on the same day. I bought it. They both got the collector's edition with the badass dragon. I'm jealous. That's besides the point. We would sit there and just play all day and talk to each other. And Josh, the first time he actually popped in and was playing it, he's like, "Oh, okay. Oh, I'm a prisoner. Oh, this sucks. Oh, there's a dragon." Skip ahead, and he's in the first village, and the guy's like, "Take what you need to help out." Josh is like taking
So you gotta understand, whenever I play fantasy games, I'm always like a rogue or a thief or an assassin, so I'm like, I can pick stuff up. Psh, cool. I just start picking anything. I'm one of those old school players, like, if it lets you pick it up, you must need to pick it up for some reason, right? Like,
You're picking up forks
I've got like
and spoons.
500 brooms.
I was like overburdened in the first 5 seconds. Like, why are you overburdened, Josh? I don't know. I've only got 800 apples, 2 cheese wedges,
What cracks me up
and all the
is-
cutlery in the city.
So Josh and I and Arjong was listening on too. So we don't see what's going on. We just hear Josh's narration in the background, like, do. Why is this guy attacking me? What happened? And like, Josh, what'd you do? It's like, I don't know. He said I could take stuff, so I took everything. Oh my God.
Oh,
It's
that's
like, well, Josh,
awesome.
get out of the room and just leave. It's like, oh my God, the whole village is going after me.
It's like, word spreads quick in this town. I just stole this guy's fork. The whole village knows about it.
Oh, that's awesome.
I had to restart the whole game, and then I finally got right after that. I'm like, okay, I figured it out. We're gonna go to do like some real battling. The first mission, we go down, and it's like, there's webs everywhere, guys. I hate you. I hate you forever.
Josh has a super fear of spiders,
He does not like spiders.
It's not a fear. It is a hatred.
which I feel like we should get a spider blaster, but then he'll just break it.
There's close to one.
Actually, I think there might be a spider blaster.
There's
I know there was the
scorpion
scorpion
one.
one. I think that same series they did an arachnid
I
blast.
feel like
or
he'll just
something.
smash it on the ground.
Scorponok!
eight balls of fury. Blasting it.
I'm gonna get spider stamps and print them on my darts.
Every time Josh gets in, no!
It's gonna be rough.
Put Josh out for the entire game.
Season 3 is gonna be rough.
Yeah, I'll be happy to actually catch up on some of my video games. I've been playing Pokemon, not finished that yet. Gotta play Mario and Luigi Dream Team. Then I gotta get the new Phoenix Wright. Then I have a lot of games on Steam. I bought too many games, and now I gotta play them all.
Oh,
Steam train.
I just picked up Batman Arkham Origins.
Have fun with that.
Played that for
How is that not crashing on you? All I heard was everybody was complaining about it crashing when it came
I know
out.
the story is mad bad.
hasn't crashed.
Mad bad.
Well,
It
the
crashed
problem
on
is
ours on like 4 or 5
I
times.
played it for on the box or the PlayStation.
I don't remember.
I played it for like a day. I was enjoying it, but the thing is, when I went to buy it at the GameStop, they were like, "Yeah, I saw Lego Marvel."
GameStop, you can trade in your physical copies of a DVD for a pence.
I feel like he watched too much Billy Madison.
Was it the GameStop that we did the GTA 5 release for?
It was.
Nice.
we
Okay.
talk
Saw one of our
Podcast?
saw one of our
You mentioned
players
it.
there,
Yep.
and Lego Marvel Superheroes had this big poster, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get Arkham Origins instead." And then the very next day, I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go get Lego Marvel Superheroes."
Do you have that?
I have it.
Have you played it?
Yeah, I played. I've been playing it for 2 days.
Is it really good?
Is it really good? Like, is it Skyrim good?
Okay, let's not say Skyrim good. Is it? Is it?
It's
Is it Borderlands?
I
good?
haven't played video games since 8-bit.
no. You're talking like Borderlands 2, a number one fanboy. Half the reason I play Nerf is because of Borderlands 2.
And half the reason all the mods are done for Nerf is because of Borderlands.
Yeah,
too.
so no, it's not. It is quirky and fun. I play the game to get to the cutscenes because the voice acting is phenomenal.
Lego's doing it right.
Oh, Captain America comes in and he's super duper cheesy because it's a Lego game, and he's like, "Hey, I see stars, but no stripes." And he's one part of it. Nick Fury asks him to go help Reed Richards, and Reed's like, "Do you know advanced physics and something something?" Captain America goes, puzzled look. "No, but I got an A in history." It's amazing. The voices are all really good. Thor sounds like Thor from the movie. Loki sounds like Loki. Nick Fury does not sound like Sam Jackson, but still really good Nick Fury.
Close enough.
All the voices are fantastic. So like I said, I honestly play it. The controls are a little frustrating. They're not the most. They don't use the bump. They could have used the bumpers and just chose not to use the bumpers and triggers.
Oh, that's lame.
And there's like stuff where you have to hit X at a certain spot, but then X may trigger something else because it's not quite at the right spot. And it's like, okay, that's just not working. So, I mean, it's got pros and cons. I think it's fun. I'm definitely not upset. I'm not upset. Fry's had it for $10 cheaper than everybody else.
How many stars out of 5?
3.5. That's
decent. That's a good weekend game.
Yeah, 3.5 stars, maybe 4 because you can play over 100 characters. Like Deadpool's hanging out in the game all over the place. You don't play him. He's just hanging out in random scenes.
You might be
I
able
think
to play him
eventually you
later.
could. So what happens is you unlock people, and then you can go back through free play
Yeah.
and use them in free play. And it switches out your heroes during the game. The Hulk is hilarious. And he's super big and he breaks everything. It's really good. Of all the Lego games I I own Batman, the ones with the DC characters, they don't really talk. The voice acting added a lot to it. But I mean, for a Lego game, it's probably the best Lego game I've played. And I've played a couple. But I wouldn't say you must own it.
Yeah.
I definitely think Arkham Origins is better.
Okay, because I've been hearing a lot of people talking smack on Arkham Origins story, how it tries to compact everything in one night, how it leaves. I haven't played it yet, or I've only watched a little bit of a Let's Play so far. Here's the thing about me. because I'm so busy and I don't always have the time to dedicate all my focus to a video game because I'm doing 10 other things, I will watch people play video games all the time. So for me, I started watching a Let's Play for Arkham Origins. It seems like an alright game, but it just, like, a voicing of Arkham City and Arkham Asylum feels like a very different vibe.
I don't know. I've played all three. Same game to me. Just same engine, same game, just different story. I'm only like 3% into it, so I really can't tell you like how awesome the story is, but my bar is set at Skyrim. If you're not scoring a story like Skyrim, then everything else is crap.
All right, Josh, what video games are you playing recently?
Haha, video games.
You say that. I know you were playing.
I actually did get Pokemon, because I figured I was gonna have some time, and I haven't actually really played a lot of Pokemon since the original. Even though I bought almost every single one, I get to like the first gym, and I'm like, and I'm tired of hitting A repeatedly. This one actually has some kind of fun stuff in it. It's pretty different. And then it's just some Steam stuff because my roommate and fellow Nerfer Arjan finished getting his PC done, and so we've been playing online.
PC, for everyone in the audience, stands for personal computer.
And I hate everyone that can run Neverwinter.
I was gonna say we started playing some Neverwinter.
I played some Neverwinter.
I gotta download that. Remind me when I get
Dropped
home.
me off.
Sean,
Like,
don't get the table flipped.
He was like, I gotta.
You love Neverwinter.
I love Neverwinter. My Alienware from like 2 years ago cannot run it at anything but the most crap Revolution.
It might just be something up with your computer. You were telling me you couldn't run video today.
Yeah,
you
I was having
watch
trouble with
1080 video,
with the
so
GoPros.
It might just be something else. You
Might
might
be
actually
time to
have
build a
higher
PC
settings.
PC. Build a big boy.
No, I don't. So here's the thing. I'm a console gamer.
Boxy.
I have this argument with our friend Mattson all the time. I know he's hardcore point and click guy. I love him for it. I'm a console gamer. And honestly, with the little bit of time I have, so these two video games will get played a little bit this week, and then they'll go on the shelf, and I won't play them anymore. The only things I really play consistently are 2K basketball. And I even got Madden this year. And it was such crap that I was like, you know what? Leslie bought it for me. I hadn't even bought Madden. I haven't even bought the new basketball game yet. Basketball game's been out for a month. I just don't got the time to invest, maybe with the off season, but then I also have other hobbies too that I've been neglecting because of Nerf.
What you could do is there's been an announcement recently by Valve. They're the people who do Steam and kind of are dominating the...
I have Steam.
Yeah, so for have you heard about the Steam box?
Nope.
So basically what they're doing is they're going to a couple of manufacturers like Nvidia. It sounds like they're even getting AMD in on it too. And they're creating little boxes that are going to be like consoles. So basically you have a new controller, completely redesigned. It looks pretty badass. It's designed to work with a lot of PC games like Civilization.
Oh, so
RTS.
like a PC version of Ouya.
Basically, yeah.
Which didn't you either one of you guys buy that yet?
I didn't buy it.
I think
$100.
I think I got the new controller's coming out for it. They're going to redo the controller because I guess the first controller was crap.
Yeah,
you won't know until you buy it. But I kind of want it because I've done Android emulators on my phones and stuff, and it's kind of nice to not have to own a Nintendo and just be able to go download stuff and play it.
It is nice. That's the one thing for me, just emulation. But for me, all the older games I want to play are Nintendo games, and I've bought them on the Virtual Console for the Wii just because it's easier to pay someone to port it and make sure it's done properly. Just to emphasize, I know how to emulate stuff. I've done Let's Plays where I'm emulating N64 games just fine, but I'll pay for convenience any day of the week.
So the real question on my mind is, now they got the Wii U, when they coming out with a Nerf game? Because I know they had
the Nerf cover for
they
my
had
tablet.
I know, and they've got Nerf covers for the 3DS and 3DS XL, and they had an old Nerf game, and you used to be able to get the Nerf blaster with the Nerf game that you could put the Wiimote in and use, or you could take it out and there was a part that would actually fire darts. So you could swap it out. I have that blaster. It's cool. I got it at Goodwill. It's actually a neat little one-shot, like
Josh
a Fire
is
Strike
little bit
type
in love with
blaster.
it. He talks about it a lot. I feel like I want to make this blaster work somehow, but I don't know.
Don't think I've ever even talked about it on the podcast.
Not on a podcast, but I talk to you all the time.
Yeah, 2 years ago when I put a really strong spring in it and I fired it and I was like, this is awesome, but
Don't make me feel old.
Yeah.
I thought this was like months ago.
So when is that happening? When is the Nerf games coming out? No.
Well, my uncle works for Nintendo, so let me.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Really?
No, that's an old thing on the internet where people say, "My uncle works for Nintendo, and he said you can catch Mew by swimming in deep waters and pushing a truck with strength 99 times."
The internet?
What's the internet?
Back in my day, before you
Stop.
had the Facebook, you would go to HPPP :PP.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
I think we are going to fall short of our 2-hour goal. I think that's going to happen.
That might have.
Looks like Sean's whining.
I was trying to bring us back around on topic. Sean's like, let me take us into the stratosphere.
If Sean keeps doing voices, then Josh is going to start doing Gollum.
I'm like, oh no.
And then if Josh starts doing Gollum, I'm going to do the other Gollum. And then it's going to be Gollum singing, Don't Stop Believing. Don't stop believing. Even through this Abyssinia.
Oh.
I'm so sorry, everybody. Usually when they bring me on, we up it up. Today, it's just, it got rough.
I keep trying. I've been quiet this whole video game discussion. I'm like, yeah, video games.
Well, I mean,
that Nerf.
Think of it this way. It's the off season. People got to find other stuff to do. But I would suggest everyone in the off season, I'm going to spend a lot of time on mods. So you guys had earlier said you had pressure season 1 to come up with new game types. I felt the same pressure in trying to come up with a new mod to bring to each game. And I finally, after like game 7, I was like, F it.
It's funny because it's an onus. I think this is what happened with Josh and me. No one expected us to come with new games every time. We just put the onus on ourselves to do it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was for me. It was like, well, now though, people will look and say, B.F.U, you got anything new? What's that over? Then they saw the BioShot and they were like, ugh. Although we had someone come, shout out to Mitch for coming to a game.
Yes.
Just to see this terrible thing from a couple podcasts ago called the BioShot and how it pissed Reddit off. He said I had to drive 3 hours to a game just to see this terrible blaster that made the interweb so mad. He's like, I came to the game just to see it and play. I was like, dude, you're a rock star.
Yes.
But I think this off season, we've got a group. So we've got Mitch, who's a senior in engineering. We got, who's the physics dude, lives in Menlo Park.
Oh, Scott.
Yep. My man Scott lives in Menlo Park, which is one town up from me, in physics major. So we've got Big Bang Theory covered. We got Wallowitz, and we got Leonard. Shawn is definitely Sheldon.
Yay!
Yeah.
I'm playing Mario 64 on an emulator on my computer.
Sorry. Anyways, so we've got the tools. We've got Ryan, who's like an electrical genius, especially after the Lucky Charms box from yesterday.
God.
For a quick recap, basically our friend Ryan, who's Captain Runner for Nerf, put 2 rapid strikes in a Lucky Charm and made a fake giant wooden Lucky Charms box from the 50s with video game buttons, and they shot mad stuff, and it was mad cool, and it was awesome.
He put 2 rapid strikes in there. He realized afterwards he can create a new design to put 5 rapid strikes in that box.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of things to put in things, we didn't even touch on this. The power bell.
Yeah, I'm working my way there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, off season, we got a squad now. We got engineers. We got electrical geniuses. We've got, although it's funny, Josh and Shawn fall into none of these categories.
Nope.
We've got Shawn's enthusiasm.
I used to play.
We've got Josh's practicality, and we've got my dreams. And we think we're gonna probably have a jam session, like a nice mod night. Get everybody together.
It's cool to know that I ground you all. That's
pretty much
practicality. The rest of you are like, we're just gonna wire a house to shoot Nerf darts, guys. I'm like, so I don't know if we can put that on the.
Josh is awesome because when I'm doing a mod, so I'm not a measure and cut kind of guy. I'm just a cut.
I cringe watching him.
So Peggy will walk up and I'll just pull out the Dremel and you'll hear, and Josh is like, "What are you doing? Why? No, you can't. No. God damn it!"
I was like, he's freehanding it. He's freehanding the cut. Oh my god!
Oh, it's great. It is amazing. Josh and I hang out a lot, and he's usually here when I'm Frankensteining something.
Yep.
He's like, "Why? Why aren't you just mark it?" Like, no, I can eyeball it. He's like, no, you can't. He's like, this is not going to end well. And then sometimes it ends well and sometimes it doesn't. But it's the way we have our
The
dynamic.
point of the story is we have a bio shot now.
Actually, Josh, if Josh would have been here at the inception of the BioShot, it probably would have never happened. He would have talked me out of it.
No, I would have been like, you got to get some of this ghillie suit stuff. You got to put that on it.
Yeah.
We would have gone all out.
I'm so sorry, Reddit. So, off season, we're going to try and do a mod day, have a jam session, have everybody in. Everyone can use their talents. And I think the star of that day will be the Power Bell. So I came up on a Power Bell through Amazon. 2-day free Prime shipping, baby.
Amazon, you can write all checks to P.O. Box 123, Josh's house, San Jose, California.
So I get him a Power Bell, and I'm like, Josh, I got the Power Bell. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna wait for you tomorrow to unbox it. He's like, okay, cool. Then Josh texts me, I'm gonna be late.
I did not take. Wait, hold on, back up. I get a text that same night, like, it's pretty big. But it's like this, and then I was like, oh, so he already opened it. You opened it. You were like,
I opened it that night, but I didn't shoot it. So in the morning, Josh texts me he's going to be late. So you did text me you were going to be late. You said you had some stuff you had to take care of.
Sounds about right.
So I'm painting my my Air Max 10. So I'm painting it my Elite Blue and orange and putting the stock on it. And then I'm looking at the Power Bell like, Josh is going to be late. So, So I open the thing, throw the shell away. The internals of the internals of this blaster are a modder's dream because it's all one thing. It's all one piece.
Yep.
You got a big white plastic thing. You got your turret. You got your switch to pull the trigger. The trigger does everything for you, and you got your battery thing, which everyone's going to cut off and put their own battery pack on anyway. Mm-hmm. So I took it. And I took my Air Max 6. And I did some chop and some zip with a tie. And then we made the Ghetto Blaster, which was the Power Bell internals on top of an Air Max 6. It was amazing.
It did some work.
It did some work. It was ugly as shit.
It was.
But the modding potential so there for a wrist gun, for a set of Gatlings. I mean, it's really. I think it's going to be in the off season. It's going to be the blaster, and a lot of people have done this with Swarm Fires, and then the predecessor, the Dark Tag version. But you don't really have to do anything to it except take it apart.
Right, but now you've got one that you can take apart. You can leave it in one piece, and it gets elite ranges.
Yep.
Whereas before, they used to have to take it apart, then mod the spring, and do all the stuff for like the Swarm Fire.
Yeah, the process is way more streamlined now.
Yeah, and I mean, I've already seen people do like War Machine mounts with like servos and shoulder mounts.
On Reddit, there was a turret. Somebody had wired it up to a motion sensor.
That's awesome.
Already. And so they would like set it down, and they was leaving it there, and it was they did some test footage in a test game. It was like whenever people walk by.
I will change the battlefield. Will that be illegal?
A turret?
No, it's fine.
If my team has one side and we set some infrared and you trip it,
be
and
the
you get
engineer
shot.
from Team Fortress 2.
That's TF2 for anyone not in the know about what Team Fortress 2 actually is. But here's the acronym TF2 all the time.
And EOL means end of life.
But we don't have any rules against it at the moment. I mean, it's a blaster, and you're not holding it, so we wouldn't count it as an extension of your person. So people can't be like, "I shot the blaster, you're dead."
I mean, we talked about the badass rule on the podcast, I believe, where if something is cool enough, I am way more inclined to allow it to happen.
I mean, we already don't allow Steffens, and that's just for safety and because where we play and stuff, we don't want windows broken, kids hurt, they walk on the battlefield because it's a school.
How about us hurt?
Yeah.
How about we keep us from being hurt?
No, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's people.
Another big part of it.
But we don't want to. We try not to stifle creativity. If you want to make something or do something, we don't want to tell people you can't run it for X, Y, and Z. We want to be like, no, we want people to mod stuff and get into it because if all you do is go and buy something, it's cool. And you can totally play the game that way, but it's really fun to see that.
I'm warning you up front. There's a highly likely next year we will see an RC car. I'm going to get down with that.
If you're okay, see, here's the thing with creating cool stuff for Nerf. If you put it in a place where it's
that's
vulnerable,
cool.
If you're okay with the game broken,
I won't buy it. It'll be a cheap RC car.
Yeah, don't go for like a $200 gas powered one. Nope,
it'll be a cheap RC car with a phone on it, and I know for most people that's like a big deal, but I got lots of those, so I can see what I'm doing. Yep. And that's gonna happen. I've already started thinking about helicopter, dropping a dart.
Mitchell was talking about helicopters too for his senior project. He's doing like one one of those quadcopters and putting a camera on it. And he was thinking, you know what? Why don't I just throw a Nerf gun on it too? And I'm like, well, here's the thing: people are going to start shooting back at it. So if you're okay with it getting shot at, you're allowed to bring it on the field.
Yep, that's the only thing we say pretty much is like, hey, stuff might get picked up by passerbys, stuff might end up on roofs. Mm-hmm. Bring it your own risk, but we'd love to see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as long as no one like intentionally kicks it for fun.
Right. I mean, I'd be more worried about when we do holds. We will hold the game if pedestrians who aren't playing are walking by, and a lot of times they're kids, like young kids, and we've seen them multiple times like, oh, darts. Oh, I don't know why they want darts so bad. Like, I want this dart.
Well, it's not even that they want it. They'll pick them up and they're like, here you go.
No, I'm talking about the kids that pick them up and look at us like maliciously and take them. I've seen that happen where I'm like, please stop picking up the darts. And they're like, what darts? I don't have any. I'm like, I don't know why this is so thrilling for you to pick up these darts. But, they might see a foam brick and pick it up. They might see an RC car, might see a cone and be like, cones, they must be free.
Cones.
The other thing that would be cool is like a metal, like a clamp thing that you can put on the wall of the bridge that has 3 power bell turrets mounted to it.
Yeah.
And then you can just duck behind it.
I feel like that could be the thing. If there's enough of an off season, next year might turn into the like turret year where people are just making automated blasters that they just set down on field.
Think about capture points. You're going to want to lock down places. So it makes perfect sense. Capture a flag. You're trying to run into somewhere. Not for
because I feel like if I put on the Nerf chair where we hold the timers, if I put enough turrets and I can be on the bridge remote controlling it, I don't need to spend a body and put a person there.
Oh, it's true. It's definitely,
And once again, badass role, like, look, if you've like, this is something we talked about last time, too, and our buddy Mitchell was mentioning. It's like, you said, Shawn, it doesn't matter how much you spend on a Nerf gun. As long as it's the best one on the field, it's worth it.
He did say that, and he's, like, deep into one Nerf gun, and I'm like, I like this dude. Mm-hmm. Like, me and Mitchell can be boys. Mm-hmm. Like, he's got the same theory as me.
He understands us.
Nerf drones.
Yeah, you could just drop. Yeah, at some point in time, it's Predator. Yeah, I mean, listen, if I could play the Nerf game from my house and pwn you guys, I'm straight.
Nerf Overwatch standing by.
You don't understand. I will, if I could afford it, I would make the Nerf helicarrier.
I would just have you on standby. Like, I'm going to call in an airstrike.
Yes.
Call him the Nerf Avengers.
You just call him B.F.U. like, we're calling an airstrike. Cool. They better hope Nerf grenades never happen. All it takes is the copter with a claw.
Yep, that is true. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see we have now more players that are interested in modding and creating interesting things. Mm-hmm. First season, it was like, we got a couple of people that might buy some extra blasters over the season. It'll be cool. Mm-hmm. They'll come with their own stuff. People might invest in some elite stuff. People might invest in a couple of Orange ModWorks springs. Now, this season's like, we might come back and see some crazy things. People rewiring stuff.
But what you won't see? People not using the hammer shot because it's like 90% adoption rate now. Mm-hmm. At this point, it don't even make it's not even cool anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like I got to move on to something else.
Josh, you gotta start mass producing your holsters, by the way.
Yeah, so I need to price it out. I'm gonna do a video so people can see what they are.
It's got to be about the same as the holster I made for my blaster, right?
Yeah, like 3 cents.
Yeah.
www.paganleather.com. That's not a real website, but
no, it might be a real website. Don't go to it. I think you forget that Josh's last name means something else.
Oh, yeah,
in our English language.
It could be
the Devils.
Yeah, wait, no. But anyway, I'll do a little write up and a video to demo my holster. I just need to figure out how much. So the leather that I'm using, I made a leather holster. I think we went over this earlier.
Yeah.
I remember I said holster. I don't remember if I said it was leather.
Yeah.
But it is a leather holster. And I had the leather sitting around for like 2 years. So I was using it on another project and I bought a whole side. I don't remember how much it cost at all. I need to check at the Tandy Leather Factory up in San Bruno and see how many I can fit on a side and how much a side costs. And then sort of do the math and figure out how much it would cost for me to make these.
Could you just buy a cow and then like milk it until it's about to die and then just go ahead and make leather out of that?
Yeah. And get the milk.
Actually, so we're running out of time a little bit here. We were trying to go for 2 hours, but my laptop's dying. We don't have power in here. So unfortunately that's going to kill that a little bit. So short, but still our longest podcast ever.
awesome sauce.
Yes.
Do, 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 do.
Fill it up.
Not
Fill it
yet.
up. We'll play the
Not
whole,
yet.
whole
Sorry.
whole song at the beginning, whole song at the end this time. That'll make
Yeah.
up the extra time.
Just have
My
it
bad.
constantly rolling. But B.F.U, any final thoughts before we head out?
I hope everybody locally enjoys their off season. If you're still playing Nerf somewhere, hope you're having fun. And thank you guys for lightening my wallet, but giving me a great new hobby with a bunch of new friends. And hope to be on the podcast again soon.
Awesome.
And buy a hammer shot.
Yes.
Josh, you got anything?
Yeah, I look forward to seeing all you crazy Australians hitting it up because I know it's getting warm down there for you. So enjoy your nerfing season. That's about it. Everybody, he already said everything locally. We're good. You know the
We got
usual.
Locally, we got international.
Yup.
Yeah, I'm just excited to see what's coming out soon. So hopefully we have some more content to push out for you guys.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on the website. BayAreaNerf.com is where we post a lot of it. If you check us out, we're also on Reddit. We'll always post on there. Facebook, Bay Area Nerf is on there as well. Feel free to check us out. Rate, comment, subscribe. Like I said, off season. So hopefully we have some exciting stuff to put up for you in the meantime.
Yes, indeed.
All right. So from everyone here at Nerfcast, this is Shawn.
This is Josh.
With BFU.
Happy tagging.